Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome one, welcome all, welcome in to some Wednesday evening forts. Today we're going to be doing something special because today we're going to be casting FPL games. You know what? You love it. We're going to get some good games from the toppest players delivered directly to the fans. I want to say shout outs to Nosehead, who will be joining us for a lot of these casts here. You guys get some dev interaction. I'm sure you guys will have plenty of questions, Q&A kind of stuff. We'll see how much we can fit in. And a massive shout out to 42 Scientists, who has put together a good chunk of the behind the scenes stuff. I wanted to say I see you there in chat. Everyone shows some love for 42. I already see you guys are giving him some love already. I want to say thank you to everyone stopping by so early, as we are just getting started here. The Tufty Indigo J2 Takashi, welcome back. Matthias Napoltano. Got it, it's Alex and Dragon. You know, I gotta say, after all these years, I still love this that name. Omega Nosehead himself, hanging out. Chicken Tendo, this guy does stuff, sporting that beautiful badge. And of course, 42, the scientist himself. Epic Gamer Person, Skybringer, Xantilus, Thorn Games, Core Dreamer, welcome in. Alright. So as we get started here, I think I'm going to show this off right now because 42 has it. But we'll be jumping back into this as time goes on. Because here we have some beautifully compiled stats from 42. 42 Scientist himself has gone through and collected a bunch of these things and put it all together for us. That way we can check them out. Alright, so we get to see all kinds of goodies here. This is going to be the raw data up here, which we can check out numerically if we want, but 42's taken done the great thing of actually showing off in graphical format for the sanctity of our eyeballs. Map choice repartition. We see the least popular maps versus the ones that get banned the most. SSS Skylines has gotten banned almost categorically. Picked, I think, is exactly once. Yeah, picked exactly once. We have Up and Down. That's going to be Up and Down 2v2. I think that's the most picked, or Stalactites. It's either Stalactites or Up and Down. Let's see. Number of picks 32. Yeah. Stalactites is the most picked at 34. Up and Down is the second most picked at 32. And of course, Vanilla Large clocking in at 28. Top 3 most picked maps. Interesting to see SSS Skylines despised almost as much as Snow Leopard. That's not yours, despised slightly more. Or at least banned for it. We do see some... It's actually not such a... With the exception of those two maps, it's actually pretty evenly spaced. In terms of commander choice, we see Pinch Fist is the most popular, seconded by Warthog and Armadillo and Architect, about the same for third, tied for third. We do see Architect banned the most, which is interesting for a commander that isn't picked anywhere near the most. No one wants to learn your map. It is too complicated. It is too much boat. In terms of win rate, Hurricanes get the highest win rate, with Warthog and Moonshine coming in. Warthog, Moonshine, and Seep tied for second place. What looks like Pinch Fist, Architects, Armadillo, and Eagle Eye tied for third. Sorry, Shotgun Eye tied for third. You know, with the exception of Phantom, Buster, and Spook, and Scattershot, all the other commanders are pretty darn close in power, it seems. Like, we've got... And closest thing to an outlier is Hurricane, but we have 3-way tie for second place and a 4-way tie for third, which is pretty good. Like, that's pretty good. terms of commander usage, Pinch Fist has been selected the most. Warthog second. Does not surprise me whatsoever. Pinch Fist is just the rush commander. It's nice to see that despite Pinch Fist and Warthog being the most popular, they are not the highest win rate. Like, they are third and second respectfully. So that's neat. You get to see that going. So many stats, you love to see it. And like, we've got all of this stuff, epic stats. Oh no, what have you done? It looks so pretty. Dranistian with the looks like the highest KD ratio at 7.5, 86% win rate. Vicro is teammate. Let's see, all kinds of goodies. You'll love to see it. Jeez, 7.5 KD ratio. That's so beautiful. So many stats. I think we'll hold off on this. Checking through the rest of these here for a little bit. Alright. As we have plenty more to go through. Oh boy, build orders, it's beautiful. Alright then. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So I do want to hop onto call with Nose here. Let's see if he's there. He is. Alright, we're gonna go say hello to Nose himself. Hello there.
Hello, Incursus. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Everything's all good over here.
Awesome. So we're going to do some replay casting, it sounds.
Yes. We don't have much in the way of live matches to go today. So we are going to be doing some replay matches. I'm very okay with this.
Cool. So who are we going to watch first? Do you have a preference? Or would you like a suggestion?
The suggestion I saw from 42 was save the HOTS versus SG match for last. So we'll start with that one for last. And then I'll just go top down in Windows sort cat order, which is vanilla large, vanilla and then caverns and go from there. It's MD versus Zero.
Sure.
Okay, yep.
Give me 1
That sounds
second.
good.
Yes, looks like.
Yeah, so it's, what is it, Caverns on Caverns?
The first one is on vanilla large.
Vanilla large, yes.
It's MD versus URA.
But that says the second match, or am I misreading that? In the name of the replay?
I think you are correct.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think it is the second
one. Yes.
So the first one is Caverns.
Caverns.
Yes,
Yep.
we'll do caverns first. I was about to list a big spoilery for reasons why that didn't matter so much, but we should be good to go. All right then, we're gonna start it out here, and then we'll jump right into the action. I do want to say before we jump into it, I want to say shout out to Nose, who's joining us today, because Nose is awesome. And if you guys don't know Nose, he's one of the developers here at Forts. He's one of the Forts developers, and he likes to hang around in the community, which is amazing. If you guys have questions for the devs and such, or just want to banter at Nose, he is watching chat. I know he's at least watching the YouTube side of chat. So do make sure to show him some love, and feel free to interact. But in the meantime,
Yeah, happy to try and answer some questions, and we also have 42 Scientist here with us as well from the community, who is been managing this whole process of the Pro League, which is he's doing an awesome job and giving us all those sweet stats that we were just looking at.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Alrighty then. So I'm ready to start this off. Go ahead and give
Yeah.
us a countdown, Nose, and then we'll start it.
Well, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. Alrighty then. So here we are, off to round 1, this best of 3. We have here on the left-hand side, it is Meth Doctor. They're playing as the Pinch Fist commander, which is not a surprise. It is the most picked commander here in the Forts Pro League. They're playing against their opponents, Ultra Random Aim, playing as the Warthog commander. Makes me wonder if Ultra Random Aim wanted to play Scattershot every single round, and that's why Scattershot was banned so many times. That would be a fun meme to do. So one of the joys of the Pinch Fist commander is that it boosts, it effectively, at least in practice, boosts you through the early game. The reason for that is you sell off pretty much everything in your base, as we see Mert up top here. Kind of dangly, spindly, hanging on by a thread kind of base, because they've sold off all of their internals for full price, and in doing so, they get their money back. This means that they can spend that money on other things like economy or technology. In this case, it looks like Mert's going for full technology options. Not even 90 seconds into the match, and they're on tier 2 tech already. Same thing with their opponent, their teammate down below, Hack Tony, also on that tier 2 tech. It's been a while since I've seen a Pinch Fist rush that doesn't go eco before tech. But these players here on Team 1 are going the fastest rush possible, it would seem, as they've sacrificed early game economy for pure technological progress. Compare this to their opponents on the other side who've gone eco first. Notice they don't even have their tier 1 tech completed. Even the top player has gone with an upgrade center as well, which is an odd choice for the Warthog commander. Typically, Warthog commander also wants to do a heavy weapons rush and typically doesn't take the side grade of a upgrade center, so they can focus on getting that heavy weapons out faster. I am curious how this is going to play out, because as it stands, it's looking like, yeah, Team 2 is getting their heavy weapons tech, at least their technology, placed at approximately just a few seconds before Team 1 starts placing their heavy weapons themselves. So that's you know, a massive difference in timing here.
Yeah, a good minute in difference. But maybe they are expecting the rush on the other side and preparing for more defense.
Potentially. As they could do things. We've seen that a lot. We'll see that a lot with the architect commanders, some of the more economic heavy commanders like Armadillo, where they say, "Oh, hey, we're expecting a rush, so we're going to go eco heavy. Just let them rush. We'll just face tank it because we know they're rushing out. Therefore, they're going to do a lot of burst damage. And if we are prepared to take that burst damage, they won't have the same kind of sustain we will, because we're focusing on economy more and such." We see that a lot with some of the more economic commanders, but for Warthog, it's a little surprise to me. Like, Warthog kind of needs to fight back, because they don't get notable bonuses to surviving those kind of hits. Of course, if you know what you're doing, you can always survive, but survive while getting weapons out is not so simple without a little extra help in the form of commander abilities. So it is strange to me to see Team 2 taking such a deep side grade. We do see them trying to punish Team 1 for their choice of Pinch Fist by virtue of going with lots of buzzsaws here, as well as the EMP to slow them down. So Team 2, Ultra Random Aim here, absolutely, like 100% knows what's going on. They know that Team 1's got some incredibly early weapons out. They've rushed everything, and they're trying to get some punishment in there, but it's just looking like they're slowing themselves down in the process without getting a whole lot done. Because Team 1, they've already defended against such things. The EMP landed, that slowed them down substantially. The buzzsaws are definitely costly to repair that kind of damage, but we're hardly talking about game-changing amounts of suppression here. Even the upgraded snipers, the AP snipers coming out to try to snipe out the weak spots from Hack Tony's cannons, but Hack Tony's already defended against that. Like, that's a problem which has been solved. It was solved already. Typically, if you're going to go AP snipers like this, it's to surprise your opponent, someone who's gone greedy. But if you're going to start hitting them with buzzsaws and EMPs, the opponent's going to defend themselves, so that defense is going to naturally also protect against the AP sniper. Mind you, there's technically an angle in a Hack Tony's top cannon here, which it can be sniped. So that's something worth noting. There it is, Fire Beam, Plasma Beam, cutting straight through much of Shuka's base. The heavy weapons come flying out of both sides here. Team 1 releases damage, Team 2 receives it. Nothing lethal, some notable repair costs, but nothing that's gonna knock them out of the game. Team 2 somewhat behind on their weapons placement, owing mostly to their own choice at developing alternate tech and such, tech and weapons. You see Shuka losing a fire beam in the process. Team 2's lower player has got a cannon just about completed. It is very well defended, so it's not going to be in danger, but it is at the 6.5 minute mark. So that's going to leave plenty of time for Team 1 here, F-Doctorin, to be thickly defended against such things. Fire beams and plasma beams, lasers in general, flying back and forth. Team 2 only has fire beams, and as such, they won't be doing a whole lot of base damage or any critical damage over to Team 1. But Team 1, on the other hand, is replying with all kinds of anger, very flavor. Oh, that's just a beautiful shot from the top. Team 1 focusing fire. It's not enough to pen, but it does do a hefty chunk of damage that will have to be repaired before the next volley, or Team 2 here is going to be in a bit of trouble. I mean, look at that. It's just open and exposed. There's no doors, not even a single piece of wood defending that. It could be sniped right now. But Team 1 doesn't quite know that. I think they don't have a sniper available that can actually see that particular angle. Oh boy. So I do have to wonder, because I see some chat going around, questions about this. In terms of game balance, chat likes to know things like, do you use in-game stats or like the pro matches for balancing these kinds of things?
For sure. We pay attention to these matches. We like watching them, seeing what kind of meta the community creates that we didn't think about, and adjust accordingly.
Okay. And that sounds
we also
right.
pay attention to the suggestions channel. So I'm just watching the action here.
I know. Suddenly very tense.
Core damage.
Hack Tony down to 40%. They find Team 2 just finds an angle that's not quite defended. Hack Tony takes a fire beam at the core, knocking him down to 40%. That's a lot of damage. I didn't expect that kind of damage, and I expect Hack Tony's gonna add an extra set of defenses around that area for reasons. As the fire beams once again fly. Ooh. The door snipe. Team 1 loses a fire beam, but it is just one fire beam, so it's not that big of a deal. On the other hand, Team 2, Ultra Random Aim's lower player is the only one with real threatening damage right now. Shuka's trying to get a laser beam, like a proper plasma laser, up on the field. It's gonna be a while before that completes. Once again, firing down at Hack Tony, who seems to be vulnerable from those lasers from above. Ooh, door snipe, door snipe. Shuka loses a fire beam after that one. Laser on laser violence.
Ooh.
God, cannons, they just chunk through so much. The focus fire, it is enough. Doctoran loses one cannon and cannot sustain the other. Going from getting knocked down from 3 cannons down to 1. One very damaged cannon at that. Yeah, that's it.
Here it goes.
Hack Tony losing their last cannon, Doctoran. Taken down a few notches, losing every single heavy weapon on that side of the field. No more cannons. Well, that's unfortunate for Team 1. That's going to put Team 1 at a pretty notable disadvantage. Lasers, for as good as they are, tend to struggle to do just raw damage output. They're very precise weapons. They can cut deeply, but unless they manage to actually hit that precise target at the right time, they're not going to deal all that much damage directly. Speaking of which, cannon undefended from that angle. Ultra random aim takes a pretty devastating hit, loses a cannon. Kind of surprised to see ultra random aim doing so much damage here. They don't have a significant economic advantage. They're just kind of winning the attritional battle in terms of doing damage themselves. Oh, is that a door snipe? Yeah, just straight up door snipe.
I think it was. Yeah.
Oh.
Mert loses a plasma beam. Good lord. The lasers just sniping each other out. Not able to deal damage to the base or break through defense, but instead just door snipe after door snipe. Weapons are being sniped out on both sides. It's disgusting. I noticed Hack Tony sold off a mine and is constructing a workshop once again. This has the implication we're going to see some swarm missiles. Potentially a surprise nuke. Yeah, there's the upgrades. We're starting to see upgrades from both teams now, almost simultaneously at that. Team 2 both players have developed an upgrade center and are currently upgrading mines, whereas on Team 1, only the lowermost player has developed an upgrade center and is upgrading mines. But they're doing so alongside a swarm missile. I suspect we're going to see a surprise nuke in all of this. It means that it can catch Team 2 off guard if they're not careful. A hit onto the under construction cannon, that's going to leave it damaged for the time being. Another hit like that could leave it slowly burning to death, because remember, weapons cannot be repaired while under construction. This leaves them vulnerable to chip damage, as they could be chipped out of existence. As we see here. Plasma beam burning, getting destroyed by multiple applications of fire. Another set of cannon shells flying across. Expertly defended and shot out of the sky by Team 1. Doctoran being very active with their fire beams. Looks like they've gone near total fire beam. And there's that cannon. slowly getting chip damage to death. You'll love to see it. It feels really bad because you have to full defend against lasers in order to prevent that kind of option. Oh no. The fire beam spam is real. But fire beams are incredibly vulnerable to snipers. A single sniper round while firing takes them out. And Team 2 knows this very, very well. They've utilized that a fair few times. Ooh, he almost gets it. He even has to resort to using a turbine to keep his weapon alive. Oh, does he get it? Doesn't quite get the fire beam. The turbine defense is coming in immediately. Team 1 knows how vulnerable they are to counter sniping. So does Team 2, because they keep trying it. That's so many fire beams. Holy smokes. A beautiful cannon round. Almost a beautiful follow-up. Multiple layers of energy shields coming out from Team 2. A good defense against the whole, you know, mass fire beam option that Team 1 is employing. But not quite enough to prevent rampant damage. Just keeping those internals protected. That's so many fire
beams
beams.
almost have like constant coverage.
It's seriously. I think they could have constant coverage if he was actually trying to constant coverage.
And here
Nuke lands.
Nuke.
It's gonna do a lot of damage. And there it is.
Oh yeah.
Player eliminated. Going to take a moment
Nicely
here.
done.
Oh, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna keep going. I was like, I have the option to slow-mo this. We'll slow-mo it after the... we'll slow-mo it after.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's like, after all this time, I could finally slow-mo.
Yeah.
And there it is. Surprise nuke. Good strat. Takes out one player from ultra-random aim, leaving the second player, well, burning to the ground, as we see. Shuka trying to survive the fire beams, which is a very tall task in this context. Oh, no!
That's a good one.
I was wondering
That
if
is a
he
good
was going to
one.
make that shot. He made that shot. Like, there is no way he knew that was going to be the outcome. But, I mean, you may as well try, just in case, right? Like, oh my god, that was beautiful. God, I want to see this explosion here from this nuke. Because that was a very quick and powerful dismantling. It goes from we're okay to panic, nuke. Oh god, they already have pre-made fire beams to prevent us from handling the anti-air, to oh no, everything has gone wrong. It was a beautifully placed turbine to detonate that nuke as far out as possible, but just immediately losing 3 energy shields, that is catastrophically expensive to repair. Beautiful cannon shot follow-up. Yeah. That's what we call a good shot. That was very, very well done here by Meth Doctor. And then just the buzzsaw for the final hit. I mean, that's... Oh no. In this case, it was just the battery secondary explosion that did it. But... oh man. Like, that battery wasn't revealed, was it? Like, he was just trying to do damage to the behind, right? Oh no, the battery was revealed,
Yeah,
actually.
he was trying to go for the core.
He was actually trying to aim for that. Okay. Well, never mind. I was like, I thought the battery wasn't revealed, and he was just aiming there because, you know, it's the place where people put their batteries and their other squishy internals, and it's a, you know, a beautiful place to hit. You know, you may even disconnect the turbines, cause some catastrophic collapse. But no, the battery was just visible, so that's a direct kill shot right there. Okay. Well, that was exciting. Good lord. All right. And we can move on to round 2, MD versus Ura. You ready, Nose?
Almost there. Yes, I am. You ready there?
I am. Go ahead and give us a countdown.
Okay, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off to round 2. After some catastrophic battery-based action, as you know, batteries must always be placed by the core. We're off to round 2 here in this best of 3. The sides have not been swapped, as we have here on the left-hand side. It is Team Mef playing as the Warthog commander. This particular round has had a bit of a switcheroo, a bit of just a hot swap. The same commanders for the same players, just opposite teams this time. As here on the left-hand side, the Warthog commander didn't lead Team Ultra Random Aim to victory in the last round, but will they lead Mefdog Torin to victory here in round 2? So they're playing against their opponents, Team Ultra Random Aim, who are playing as the Pinch Fist commander. Interesting to see the teams have just swapped commanders for this match, for this round. We do see a heavier focus on economy out of Team Ultra Random Aim, which they did last time as well. We also see Mefdog Torin focusing technology over economy, which same strategy as last time, just minus the pinch fist grade rush. I do appreciate Team Doctorin sniping. It just gives a little bit of map control. Note, Ultra Random Aim did have a sniper earlier on, but it got counter-sniped and is left Team Doctorin with the only remaining sniper, who is now still just being annoying with it. Not really doing anything else. Surprise buzzsaw. Just trying to keep Team 2 honest. Same kind of deal as the as going with the EMP, but with potentially game-ending effects, as we have seen in some matches before. Surprised to see both players from Team 1 pulling out the buzzsaw.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes. Game-ending, did you say?
Okay. That one's like Death Star 1 in a million shot, okay? Like, that one's not... He didn't even hit that spot and it shattered it, okay? Like, oh my god. Like, how do you... Team Ultra Random Aim loses a player, I guess technically to a buzzsaw kill. I'm gonna have, for those who didn't catch it, that was not okay. We're gonna have to show you guys in the replay how that one went down.
Slow-mo, yeah.
Because that's not the kind... Oh my god. Buzzsaws, please. Well, that leaves Team Ultra Random Aim with one remaining player who does have their heavy weapons tech placed. Unfortunately, due to the timing of it, it will be very, very far behind Team 1's heavy weapons tech, as Team 1 has just placed their first weapon, their first heavy weapon. About to have a second one placed here at about 30 seconds or so.
Oh, that was cool.
Surprise! AP Sniper touching Mert's core. It's not going to be enough, but Mert getting... Team 1, honestly, Team 1 has been hilariously greedy. So there's a little bit of punishment for it, but it's not going to be enough to actually come back here. That AP Sniper... This does point out that Team 1 has been... game-winningly vulnerable to cheese, early game of cheese and aggression. They were last round as well. But this round, had Shuka actually gone for an early snipe out, could have done it. It's just, I don't think they were prepared to do that. They were just trying it because why not? And surprised, Team 1 was still vulnerable, despite having such a massive advantage. But that's still. That will force some extra defenses out of Team 1. It's going to be at least 2 minutes, even if Ultra Random Aim places a heavy weapon like right now. And Team 1, they've got multiple cannons like just about ready to go. So Team 2 is about to get hammered something fierce. I will note that they are attempting to switch it up a little bit, going with the swarm missiles. Although these are exposed, they are revealed. There's not going to be any secrets here. So Team 1 will soon-ish start developing defenses against such things. Shuka has already revealed the upgrade center. So they will be expecting nukes. Nukes on top of it. Buzzsaws tickling Shuka, but Shuka is well defended from those things at this stage of the game. At least as defended as you can get. Team 1 developing additional defenses around their base. I believe they understand it's time to keep themselves alive, as they have enough advantage that just leveraging the girth of it is enough to basically bully Ultra Random Aim out of this match. It is worth noting that Team 2 still has access to both bases. Shuka almost immediately expanded to their teammates' previous location. They do have access to both bases, and both bases worth of economy and foundation space. It's not completely out of the game, but Team 1 will run away with it. If not given a fairly swift kick down to reality. 3 cannons are now online for Team 1. This means that Team 2 is about to get hammered with a death spiral worth of destruction. Question is, where are they going to aim? Are they going to aim for the expansion, or are they going to aim directly for Shuka's core? Because Shuka is getting prepared for these kind of things right now. Loses his sniper that's going to delay his nuclear launch capabilities. Pretty certain he was hoping to have that commander active to launch everything all at once. Go with the Hail Mary play. Swarm nuke, try to land it somewhere. Use the fire beams to defend. Looks like he's not going to have a whole lot of targets available for him to do that. Team 1 not developing much in the way of anti-air, but instead focusing on just straight up wood spam, which looks like it's going to work just fine. Nuke is caught far and away from the base. It's going to leave him intact. A little bit of... They do have stability tech, but they are struggling with the whole... Oh, come on!
Oh.
Oh, that's a bad hit here.
Yeah, I hate to see it. The cannons from above just cleaned through and take out 2 missile launchers. All missile launchers, for the record, on Team 2. That's gonna leave Team 2 with no weapons, no offensive capabilities, nothing besides fire beams, which we know can be hilariously destructive. but 2 fire beams does not break a base. So that's going to be very unfortunate for Team 2. I mean, this has just been... it's just been... Like, how do you even... What do you do here as Team 2? Like, you have the option to do things every so often, and then it just gets taken away by these beautiful shots. Shots that just seem impossible to make. He almost sniped out that technology, by the way. Like, oh my god!
Yep, there
Give
you
this
go.
man a break.
Insane.
Like, I couldn't... These aren't even like these aren't even disgustingly impossible shots. It's just the angles which they come from.
He's got very impressive aim.
I can't even consider it aim at this point. Like, he didn't
Yeah,
even know the
he
thing was
shows
there.
hands as well.
He's just shooting generally, and he's just shooting generally in the direction and hitting the weakest possible spot for... Like, come on. What?
Yeah,
It's like, okay, well, this guy has a base there. I'm gonna shoot it, and it's like, oh, I hit something inside. I wonder what it could be. I don't know. Was it his heavy weapons tech? Probably not. But oh no, it was twice. Worst part is he snuck it through like the tiniest hole to make it happen.
Those fire beam shots are really good.
that was
Yes.
great.
He's keeping himself alive is what he's doing with those. Like, again, that is the tiniest hole.
Needle.
Like, come on, give me a break. I can't. Is it a key? Oh, good lord. Well, the nuke is almost online again. I think it's technically not defended from those the same cannon shots that it was taken out from before, but I also think he doesn't need to worry about that so much because the chances of that happening again are very low, and it should not happen again even if he's aiming for it, but clearly, given the amount of time that has happened to this game, that is not a worthwhile risk to take. Oh,
Oh,
good god, this
The
ability
timing.
tech. Like, there's so many things going on here. Like, very well shot from Hack Tony, disabling that nuke and canceling that nuke. Like, that was purposeful. Very good shot. He was prepared for that for a while. He's probably been sitting on that buzzsaw just waiting for his moment. Good work. Mert, on the other hand, panicked, built a bunch of wood spam. Nearly collapsed
And
himself.
became,
In the process.
became a Christmas tree for a second.
Yeah, he's got a blinking forelong, which is indicative of imminent death.
Yep.
Mertz has decommissioned a vast majority of his wood spam just to keep himself intact and alive. Hack Tony, on the other hand, has developed a nuke which has just been launched and shot down by his own anti-air, for the record.
It looks like Shuka is adding more swarms, maybe, by setting mines.
I'm not in that position, he's not.
Well, maybe portals or... Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I would think just a second nuke and rely on the fire beams because the alternative is you don't do damage. But that's just my thoughts on the matter.
Or maybe he sold those mines to get more energy.
Oh. Wow.
4 cannons all straight to the same spot. You know, Shuka did a great job of defending there. Like, you have to have just that kind of thick metal to survive that at all. It's just... like, you can't rebuild that kind of metal in any reasonable amount of time. So there's very limited lifespan on this thing. So we have another volley of cannons.
Yeah.
Oh, it almost makes it across.
Oh.
So very close.
Shuka's done very well to survive till now.
Yes, but I think that's gonna
Yep.
be it. You still trying? No! After all the shots, you don't hit with the cannon. Good God,
That was awesome.
that match was. I don't have words to describe
And that
what happened in that match.
That was really good.
That was very good. I want to say shout out to 42 for putting this
I selected
pick
the
of this
best
match out,
matches.
because this was. What am I looking at? All right, so I need to show off right at the beginning here what exactly happened to this, because this was not normal. Nothing about this was normal. Like, this was a collapse from behind. So buzzsaws break this in front, and it causes a crunching of the base. Like, all it did is cause wobble on the base, and the entire base just collapsed. It didn't break. The buzzsaws didn't hit anything. The buzzsaws didn't hit anything important. They just wobbled the base, and the base went from stable, no blinking, not even stressed, to a domino level crunching collapse.
Slightly less stable.
Yeah, it just destabilized a little bit and just shattered. And the whole thing comes crumbling down. Who does that? What? How do you prepare for that? Good lord, that was something else. And then of course we have the I don't even want to watch the replay of this one, because this was the second destruction. Just he held on for so long. Like, it was hit after hit after hit. And even the cannon shells didn't finish it. It was the machine guns that did it at the end. Imagine. Death by machine gun. You don't see that every day. Good lord. Well, that got exciting.
That was awesome.
Alrighty then, let's move on to the next one. It'll be Cass versus INF. Let's see, round one is the second one, so we'll do vanilla large first. You ready?
Yes.
Alright, let's do it. In 3, 2, 1, start it. And we're off. It's round one between close cannon support and Infernus. On the left-hand side, we have Team Close Cannon Support playing as the Pinch Fist Commander, one of the most popular commanders here in the Forts Pro League. The Benzine and Kriegsul.
Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce that either.
I believe it's.
I mean, Benzin is Preisvergleicher.
I believe it's
Kriegssäule, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's it. Kriegsäule.
Kriegssäule.
It's got like this so. Get it? Just gotta call him Krieg. We have Krieg and Benzine. Playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. It's one of the more popular commanders in the. It's been one of the more popular commanders here in the Forts Pro League for good reason. It's not overly high in the win rate, but it is very effective. It just enables faster weapons, generally faster play. I mean, in a real-time strategy, being more real-time is always a good tactic. On the other hand, we have Team Infernus, who's playing the Overdrive Commander. Overdrive Commander, it specializes in upgrades, but I think people just use it for the extra eco, for the most part. Like, you never go wrong with overdrive because you just straight up get more money per money. Which is, you know, very nice. The upgrades also help. In case you'll see it a lot for like swarm missile rushes kind of stuff. Or rather nuke rushes, you get the nuke out faster. Or just later game economic plays. More economy is better. Oh no, not again. Guys, you can't do this! Why? Like, I get it. I get it. Pinch fist. I get it. Pinch fist. Specialize in selling off the base. I get it. Everyone's picking pinch fist. Like an 80% pick rate or something like that. You gotta prepare for this kind of thing, man. You can't let them do this to you. Guy even already had his heavy weapons tech halfway completed before getting buzzsawed. Like, it was at the 2-minute mark. 2-minute mark, guy's almost done with his heavy weapons tech. And he gets buzzsawed. Like, that's the situation we're living in here. Team Infernus takes down Benzine. Close cannon support loses a player to Greed. Again. Pinterest is such a double-edged sword. Yes. Yes, yes they are. Good lord. This is why we say, you gotta be careful with the greed, man. It'll get you. Well, that's gonna put Team Close Cannon support in the back foot for this round. That's really rather unfortunate for Team Close Cannon support. But Infernus, they're happy. I mean, they're just gonna casually go up to heavy weapons tech, like... They're not quite finished with either of their cannon production facilities yet. Krieg over here has been finished with his factory for some time and is starting to finish construction of his teammates' cannon facility. Just puts down just put down a plasma of his own. Yeah, I mean, what else is he gonna do? Krieg puts down his heavy weapon, his plasma at this point in time, whereas Team Infernus here is saving up to put down theirs. The Pinch Fist Rush will still get their heavy weapons out before Team Infernus will, but at what cost? It only cost all of your friends along the way.
Maybe the heavy weapons were the friends you made along the way.
I should certainly hope so, because he's got nothing else to help him out. It only cost him everything. So we do see the first cannon placed down for Team Infernus. We're going to see a second cannon here placed momentarily, it would seem. DLMC getting it placed up in this top position. Pulling up an extra battery, delaying his cannon by extra time. And do it. Do it. You should be sitting there. Why are you not sitting there placing the cannon? DLMC or floating metal? Why are you like this? Thank you. Problem solved. My question is, will Kriegs be able to snipe out one of those cannons before they turn to haunt him? Because there's going to be a lot of incoming firepower. Those kind of kinetics don't play nicely. They're bullies. They punch people in the face with rapid fire, projectiles. And they do it again. They don't stop. We had a stream a while back where I spent 30 minutes pummeling a guy with like 6 cannons. I felt bad for the guy because he just couldn't play the game. He was doing nothing but repairing the entire time. But yeah, that wasn't gonna go through. Very well aimed shot. Kriegs tries to go straight for the throat. Bulyaga survives on virtue of having plenty of armor. And very well executed, cut quite deep. Did some notable amounts of deformation. Well, that's another lucky shot. Oh, maybe not a lucky shot, but a risky shot. Griegs loses He loses half of his energy production for that one. We going up to full defense here. Those energy shields are now a little too close. They won't be. One cannon shell takes them both out of that stage, which is not ideal. Swing it a hit.
Those back to doors are gonna cost a lot to repair.
Oh my god, it didn't take out both of them. I was wrong. It almost took out
but
both of them.
it's still a good cost to repair.
Yeah, that's still incredibly expensive. Definitely needs to adjust that defense, but to be real here, when you have one player versus two, you don't have a whole lot of APM to go around. Got a lot of base to cover, not a lot of help.
I can hear Vicro suggest a co-op on death.
I am not surprised. That's not what he meant to put there. All right. So it does look like Kriegs here is preparing to get hit by the howitzer, or at least expects the howitzer to start coming through, which is not a surprise to me, given that Team 2, like it's coming up in 8 minutes, and Team 2 only has 2 cannons between them. Like, what are they doing with all their money? They've been clearly ahead for some time. The answer is they're building howitzers. So, Kriegs here is hard reading that and preparing to defend against howitzers by virtue of building a lot of wooden armor and plenty of machine gunners. Firebeam goes clean through. Oh, the worst timing. Saves it anyways. Well, you gotta be careful with those fire beams, as they will absolutely take out the, any anti-air. Imagine the fire beams Krieg's worst friend right now. I wonder if DLMC is just gonna wait for Kriegs to fire his fire beam and then reactively fire his howitzer. You know, he is trying to snipe out those fire beams. The double fire... Oh!
No.
Massive damage. Internal detonation cannon almost eliminates Bulyaga. Team 2 almost loses a player there, and Furnace reeling from that hit. Losing multiple cannons and most of a player. Yeah, that was rough. That actually puts Krieg in the lead. Okay. I didn't see that one coming. Team 1 actually in the lead for the moment. Is the economic lead? My god, the man's in an economic and firepower lead. And he's got clean shots on on a weapon that's not properly defended.
Oh.
Ooh, ho, ho, ho. That would have been close. DLMC there selling off the cannon just in time to prevent a catastrophic fate. Team 2 down to a single cannon right now against 2 fire beams and a plasma beam with it. Howitzer on the way for Team 1. A howitzer which, mind you, Team 2 is categorically unprepared for. And if you guys remember, howitzer plasma combo is popular for a reason. It's incredibly powerful. You know, if that plasma follows up, and it does, we might see a cannon drop. No, he's safe. Okay. He survives. Once that howitzer comes online for Team Close cannon support, we're probably going to see a player eliminated. That's going to be a metric ton of firepower, or at least burst damage. A clean cannon shot just snipes out a fire beam. That's a little awkward. But it is now time for close cannon support to retort, and I'm pretty certain neither player for Team 2 has the defenses around their core to defend against this. That is a howitzer plus fire beam plus plasma beam. That can go, I'm pretty certain, clean to any core he chooses. Looks like he chooses
That's
not to
a bit
go to a
high.
core, but instead
Oh.
going to the weapons platform. Doesn't
And doesn't
have
have
the
the energy
energy to fully pen. Surprisingly doesn't do much damage. That's going to reveal the howitzer. Give Team 2 time to defend against such things. We see mass 20 mils coming out of Bulliga here. Howitzer cleaned the weapons. Oh, it's close. Oh, it doesn't have the energy to do it. A little delayed. He gets the hit, but not before the repairs come online. It's gonna prevent another collapse, but does take out a 20 mil in the process. That'll give Bullig a bit of a delay, but nothing devastating. Just standard cannons flying out from the furnace here. Fire beam into plasma. Oh, wow. Talk about a haircut. I'm pretty certain that physically clipped the graphic there, but not quite the hitbox. Not quite a solid follow-up with those fire beams. But Team 2 is not handling the howitzer well at all. Ooh. That plasma almost getting door sniped by a 20 mil at that. We have a game here once again. Team 2 has recovered. And they're applying pressure to Team 1 once again, but this is coming out to be something like an even fight, which is not how I expected this to go. There it is. More secondary explosions. Bully loses both of their weapons once again.
Ooh. Door
Not
snipe.
even a... I don't even think that was a door snipe. It just had no doors on it whatsoever. It just got pummeled with cannons, so there are no more doors left. Kriegs is running out of eco here. Oh, the cannon's exposed. And the cannon follow-up. Krieg's just constantly building. Surprisingly, it looks like the economic advantage has been mitigated. Team 2 has upgraded a few of their mines. Should put them about on par as Team 1 in terms of economic potential. The problem they're going to be facing is that it's just a weapon difference. We have a howitzer, a cannon, and a fire beam for Team 1. We have 2 cannons for Team 2. These things are not quite equal. Team 2 still at a weapon disadvantage, but they do have an APM advantage by virtue of having 2 living players. Fire beam follow-up, take out those turbines. You see it. It's enough to take out a couple of them. That'll hurt DLMC a little bit, but not enough to shut them down. All players involved reconstructing their weaponries. Should be Team 2's turn to fire here. Or... nope, focus in on his defenses again. That'll give Team 1 an opportunity to refire. Another clean howitzer hit into the reconstructing weapons. Oh, that'll leave those turbines vulnerable again. Looks like he aims for the weapons. Team 2 struggling to defend here. Multiple vulnerable points at their base at any point in time. It's just a lot of damage. Team 1 just has a whole heap load of damage to dump at all points in time. Honestly, it's the howitzer for Team 1 that's the real problem. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Snipe that out with a cannon. Little cannon anti-air. For all the constant fire coming out of Team 2, the howitzer is the thing doing the most damage. If Team 2 could shut that down, then Team 1 would struggle to come back here. Like, the regular cannons are nice, but they're not really doing it. Given the large amounts of economy from Team 2, just 1 or 2 cannons is not going to be enough, and Team 2 can tank that forever. But a howitzer mixed in, and it's overwhelming. But here's the thing, Team 1's up to a howitzer, multiple fire beams, a plasma beam, and multiple cannons. You can't take that, and there's no single player here in Team 2 that can take that kind of damage. It's not a thing.
Oh.
So close.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty close. Looks like Team 2's lower base managed to get their cannon online once, or their cannon online once again. The howitzer lands, but effectively misses anything worth hitting. Takes out a single sniper. Oh, but I mean, he hits the cannon platform. He hits the weapons platform with multiple heavy weapons, and Bully loses another cannon. Doesn't drop anything onto themselves or leave themselves in a difficult situation, but another cannon down, that's just setting Bully back. That just sets Team 2 back even further. Team 2 down to 4 cannons now. Down to 4 cannons. We have a potential vulnerable core. Team 1 activates commander abilities so they can pay for additional heavy weapon firing. Trying to go with the fire beam plasma beam combo. Looks like doesn't quite line it up. And pays for his misses with his own plasma. Getting it door sniped in the process. DLMC takes some core damage, but it's not lethal. Knocking him down to 91%. Looks like Team 2 started to get active on the field, bringing snipers trying to get some map control out. Howitzer hits, but is effectively defended. Just standard cannon rounds flying across, trying to deal as much damage as they can. DLMC is ignited. His fire beam's pen deep. It's going to deal a lot of core damage before it gets put out, but it's not going to do anything lethal, and the repair bill will not be particularly high. DLMC is able to repair that up quite quickly. Krieg's activating commander ability for cheaper firing weaponry. Cannons firing, good hits. DLMC out of cash, which means those fire beams are going to pen very deep. Rapidly replaced beach is going to keep him from taking catastrophic damage. Howitzer lands. Massive repair bill, one that DLMC can't quite field. It looks like Krieg's is managing to just wear DLMC down, and I'm not sure if they recognize that yet. DLMC slowly being ground into dust, reduced to the sand in which they surrounded themselves. Looks like Krieg's going to be changing focus down to Bullia again, trying to keep them in check, to keep those cannons from completing construction. And here's the thing. DLMC's just got a howitzer up again. A howitzer and 3 cannons. A howitzer and 3 cannons, which, if they start landing shots, it's going to put Krieg's into their grave. What? That's a pen. Cannon undefended. Team 2 selling off a cannon preemptively to prevent game-ending damage. And there it is. The laser pens, but there's nothing in there to destroy, as it has been sold off. Team 2 developing rockets, which I think is a great idea. It hits deep, but
close.
There's nothing there to hit. Bully in the lower base, using rockets to apply pressure to Krieg's here. We've seen them before. Rockets deal devastating. Oh no. Is it over? Not quite.
Not
But that
quite.
was close. That was almost a total collapse. DLMC, unable to defend their core properly, takes another direct hit down to 41%. Good lord. Standard cannons firing at close cannon supports the howitzer position. A second howitzer for Team 1. It's not quite ready to fire just yet, but if he can actually get hits from both howitzers, I suspect Team 2 is not going to be long for this world. They're already struggling against...
They don't have any anti-air.
Yeah. It would expect it to land. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Howitzer exposed.
That is exposed.
I think it's going to be
Well,
okay.
yeah, the good thing is that it can tank like 5 sniper shots.
Yeah, alright. Howitzer survives, but those rockets are taking their toll. Good lord. All it takes is that one cannon shot to end it. Retasking those fire... these lasers have been MVP all game, man. They do so... He's done so much damage with them.
Oh.
But it looks like Kriegs has managed to stabilize enough using those fire beams to knock out just enough weapons.
And here
Give
it
him the
goes.
ability to repair. Here comes Howitzer 1, Howitzer 2. This could be it. If they has a cannon or laser follow-up, which we know he has, this is likely to be lethal here. Bully full penned, but it's not enough to collapse. Taking damage to his foundation. Oh, that's it. DLMC at tier 3.
Oh, tier 3.
Are you this desperate? Are you this desperate?
That's hilarious.
God. Kriegs trying to defend against the tier 3. Good lord.
Yeah.
Another
Two
opening.
howitzers is crazy.
Double fire beam, pens, gets the internals, laser follow-up. Cannon follow-up. I think the plasma beam doesn't have... I think the plasma beam doesn't have angle on Bully. I think that's what's going on here. He actually can't follow up the howitzers. He's using the howitzers and howitzers alone. So he's having to spread his fire. He can't focus fire. Oh, that's devastating.
Oh.
The tier 3s are getting closer.
They are.
Yeah.
Like, Bully just taken game-ending amounts of damage here. Like, they cannot sustain that kind of firepower. But the cannons and plasma keeping the top base of Team 2 in check, while the double howitzer play just wipes out the lower base. And this whole time DLMC is just taking chip damage, which is... Oh, okay, now he's finally swapping the top target. Surely DLMC does not survive this. Second howitzer still has to go to lower base due to firing angles, leaving DLMC undamaged. Down to 7%. Team 2 trying to invest into some anti-air.
There
it
we go.
is.
Insane.
That's... What a comeback.
Absolutely what a comeback. Oh, and everything collapses. Bully's
People
hope.
keep asking why we don't have time limits. This is why.
Good God. Well, that's gonna put Team 1. Team 1 wasn't exactly at a disadvantage before. They certainly had a notable lead, but that's gonna put it into near insurmountable. Obviously, tier 3s are tier 3s. They can always just end the game immediately, but I think we're not gonna see that here. Looks like Kriegs is focused on a little bit more defenses around such potential eventualities. Bulia takes a howitzer directly to the core. Second one. Oh, that's it?
Yep. Wow.
Good
game.
lord. What a game indeed. Close cannon support takes it. With 213,000 damage.
More than double the the opponent team.
That was ridiculous. That was absolutely insane. That was amazing is what that was.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
And that all came off the back off of a 2-minute defeat. Less than 2-minute defeat. I mean, look at this. Derbenzine, not a single piece of metal across the front of his base. And he just gets buzzsawed. Not a single piece of metal. One buzzsaw. That's all it takes. Ta-da!
Yep. Yep, not even 2 minutes.
I want to see that final hit that took out the players here. Oh, it was a door snipe at that. Oh, well, that's just demoralizing. Would it have mattered? I don't think it would have mattered. Let's see, what's the situation here? I don't think it would have mattered. It would have mattered. May not have mattered. That would have been 7% damage directly. I don't think it would have mattered. Just devastatingly effective. Well, the power of cannons, you love to see it. And it all comes crumbling down. That is some exceptionally satisfying force destruction. Okay, alright. That was awesome.
Yeah, I have selected the most exquisite replays.
You were not kidding. That was amazing. Cass, Cass takes it 2-0 despite losing a player at like the minute 50.
Yeah.
Alright, next
That's
up we
awesome.
have Tag versus SG.
No, we
Nope.
still
Nope.
have more cast versus Incursus. This was only the first match.
You're right. That was only the first match.
It was 25
I'm
minutes
so
long.
excited. It was 25 minutes. It was. I was confused. I was like, surely we've been on these players for like half an hour. Surely we have gone through all of their matches. So no,
Nope.
This
that
is
was
when
only the
we don't
first
put time
match.
limits.
All right, Cass versus Infernus again, round 2, and in 3, 2, 1, start it.
Our high-tech synchronization method.
Yes, the best kind. It never fails us.
We need a new watch together replay feature.
Yep.
How long until we just re-implement, just copy paste everything off of StarCraft? Just be fine. Alrighty then. So now we're off to round 2 after close cannon support had a wonderfully amazing match in the last round. This time the sides are swapped. Everything's different. On the left-hand side, we have Team Infernus playing as the Moonshine Commander. Not a particularly popular commander, but one that is... I think it had a reasonably, if I recall correctly, it had a pretty high win rate. It just wasn't very popular. I think it's just a little...
I feel
risky.
like the Moonshine with Hurricane and Firebird are outliers because of the small sample size for their use.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It's like not many people pick them, and those that pick them tend to be kind of cheesy. So it's like, surprise, I got you, I won a match. Now, that means, all 3 times it was used were wins, so it's got a high win rate, but it doesn't have a particularly high pick rate because it's just not a high % chance. But here we have playing, it's a missile rush, big surprise. out of Team Infernus here on the left-hand side, playing against Team Close Cannon support. Not playing nearly as risky and greedy as last round, not selling off literally all the armor on their base. They're playing as Warthog Commander this time, which means we expect to see heavy weapons production facilities, which we already do, so we do see some pretty nice rushes out of them, but nothing that is self-destructive. You love to see it. Yeah, alright, so we see a swarm missile rush accompanied by a regular rocket rush coming out of Team 1. Now, here's the thing. Seeing a single EMP is not too much of a concern, it's not much of a tell, because the reality is a lot of players will use a single EMP in order to just harass their opponents. You see an EMP, not a big deal. If you see 2 EMPs, you start panicking, because 2 EMPs means heavy investment, and they're actually interested in doing damage, because they can't just swap out of that real quick. So you see 2 EMPs, like, oh no, this is prelude to getting rocket rushed. We need to do something about this now, because if they get those rockets online, then we're in deep trouble. So we see quick expansion just to get additional machine guns and anti-air on the field. Those rockets will be shutting things down and generally causing some support for those swarm missiles, which, by the way, have EMP effects themselves. We're going to see a lot of EMP coming out of Team 1. Moonshine and their gimmick of additional EMP is kind of a big deal. Yeah, it's exposed. It's exposed. It's rough. Like, there's a lot of damage potentially incoming here.
Oh, if that
doesn't quite hit it, but those swarms can hit the core and they can deal devastating damage. It is technically still exposed because swarm missiles, they go all over the place. They splash everything. If there's a hole, they find it. Kind of surprised it hasn't gotten hit yet. I mean, look at it. Swarms all over the place. I'm also surprised that Bully hasn't developed an upgrade center. Surprised either player. Oh, there we go. Just as I was saying it, both players from Team 1 placed an upgrade center down. This will slow down. Having to invest this much in anti-air and just to deal with his aggression has substantially slowed down Team 2 here, but it hasn't stopped them. Team 2 both have completed their heavy weapons, or heavy weapon production facilities. So once they save up enough money, they can just place them down. Assuming they have a weapons platform for it, which it looks like neither player does at this point in time. So they'll have to be developing a weapons platform, and then they can save up money for actually placing their weapon down. So Team 2 is fortunately Team 1 will be ramping up the damage starting almost immediately because they just completed their upgrade centers. The sniper from Team 2 is actually dealing great damage here, shutting down EMPs and machine gunners alike. Looks like their Benzine not going to be filled by a buzzsaw once again. The swarm missiles trying to break anything they can, but swarm missiles not great at the whole breaking things. There's that sniper. Doing the damage it can. Yeah, it takes out... Alright, sniping from Team 2 has just about shut down Team 1 in its entirety. So good work Team 2, good work Close Air Support. And Furnace, at the stage where they develop additional weaponry, so they were expecting to slow down their offensive firepower here for a little while they upgrade things. We see the rockets upgrading, we see the nuke upgrading as well, so Team 2 does have a bit of time to recover, and they will be using this time to develop their heavy weapons, which is the expected situation. We see a plasma beam and a howitzer already in progress from Team 2. So Team 1 has about... Is that going to be 60, 70 seconds to deal critical damage? Or Team 2 is just going to end up being... it's just going to end up ahead in terms of firepower. Mind you, that 70-second timer isn't like, oh no, we lose the game. It's just the timer that Team 1 has before Team 2 takes the lead. They can, of course, do something like get a drunk nuke going and immediately change the course of the game, but that's rolling a pretty risky dice. Something they would prefer not to have to do when they could just take advantage of having current firepower control and deal catastrophic damage. Like right now! With a well-placed... Yeah, with a well-placed buzzsaw, Kriegs loses all of his weaponry. All fire beams, all plasma beams gone.
Jeez.
Improperly defended trunk, and it comes crumbling down. Derbenzine, mind you, still has their heavy weapons. That's going to be the kinetic variety with a howitzer and a 20 mil, which is an interesting choice. Suppose getting anything onto the field right now is better than nothing. Getting it on the field faster to cut that timer down is even better. Weapons have been exposed. Team 1 does know about them. Know about the cannon location for Team 2. But the nuke is actually not ready to fire just yet. Looks like he's opening it up, preparing it to fire. No sniper from Team 1 means it's going to be another little bit. May give Derbenzine the opportunity to fire first. Their commander ability is active, which implies they want to fire first. Howitzer fires. That's it.
Obliterated.
Oh.
No chance to catch. The entire fort gets disintegrated. At least the entire foundation. Warthog empowered howitzer. Massive damage.
Yep.
Vaporized.
Vaporized is the appropriate word. Disintegrated, atomized, just... it's gone. And for his next trick, he's going to do it again. Derbenzine reloads. DLMC's got limited life here before that howitzer comes out. He's preemptively building sacrificial turbines just to eat those howitzer shells, because what else is he gonna do? Eat it to the face? That's a mistake. It's all bad. It's all bad. So now we're in kind of the opposite situation of the previous round. DLMC having to win their 1v2 against his opponent. Buzzsaw trying to chop what it can, doesn't get anything notable. Howitzer flies through again. Impacts a door, detonates on the surface rather than pushing in deep, which is the best case scenario for DLMC, but still. Good God. Hey look, Krieg is finally getting their weapons online. After getting bullied by buzzsaws. But Derbenzine only has this single howitzer right now. One howitzer does not end the game usually, barring unusual circumstances. It's gonna be another 45 or so seconds before Team 2 can get more weapons on the field. It's gonna give DLMC a little bit of time to manipulate things, to work around. I hesitate to imagine what they would be able to do. They've taken some extreme risks with things, leaving their weapons exposed, which have been discovered by the snipers of Team 2. And just like that, DLMC loses the last of their weaponry. Yeah, this is just an unfortunate situation. Is he... I wouldn't... Like, there's no way he did that on purpose. I mean, maybe he did it on purpose. I don't think he did it on purpose. But taking good advantage of that. One of the side effects of Warthog is that heavy weapons, such as the howitzer, when they miss they gain an instant reload. So you get to mulligan your shot if you whiff entirely. However, we got into a gray zone here where the howitzer technically missed because it didn't hit the enemy fort, but also did all of its damage because it missed the fort by that such narrow of a margin. So he got to shoot the same spot twice, dealing effectively full howitzer damage both times. Which you don't see that every day. This man is just playing fast and loose with his weapons, leaving them exposed, available to, you know, be destroyed by snipers. Oh, it's so much damage.
And he somehow survives this.
Wow. Another exposed fire. That's what, 4 fire beams taken by... That's 4 exposed fire beams taken by snipers?
Oh, yes.
That's, you can't let that happen. Like, I can understand taking a risk with, you know, the first 1 or 2. If you don't have the money to defend him, but... At this point, Team 2's checking for that kind of play. And, this looks lethal. This is what lethal looks like. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
That was a lot of damage. Team close cannon support off the back of a powered howitzer just vaporizes their opponents, Team Infernus, and wins this best of 3, 2-0. That was amazing that was. Let's see, I want to see the howitzer vaporization here, because that was a lot of damage. All at one time. I mean, look at it. It has a fort, and then it's about to no longer have a fort. Look at it. It's just all gone. And it comes crumbling straight down. It's like pulling the table mat out from under the dinner table. Out from under, you know, dinner on the table. Everything's, it's just, you pull it out so quick, so smooth that everything just doesn't move. And the fort just kind of fell straight down. It's beautifully shot.
Experienced the Throngler.
The Throngler. And of course we have getting sliced off the top. My God, it's beautiful. Yeah. Alright, very well played. Very, very well played. Alrighty then. Next match. Tag versus SG. First match, Caverns.
Yep.
Alright. Go ahead and count us down here, Nose.
Alrighty, everybody ready? Let's go.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright. And we're off to round 1 in this best of 3. So here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Fesh Finest Hour, Flynn Shadow, and Duck called R, playing as the Warthog Commander. Warthog Commander known for its base vaporizing howitzer potential, among other things. Playing against their opponents, Team Skill Gap, Clow, and I am myself, playing as the Pinchfist Commander. Pinchfist Commander, one of the most popular commanders here, known for selling off its base to a point where they self-collapse, and then if they survive that whole endeavor, then they get a bit further ahead in their weapons and economy production. See if they can't outpace their opponents as we move forward in this match. See a little bit of sniping for Team Fesh Finest Hour. Duck called R, just tickling Clow's turbines here. No significant damage dealt. We do see an EMP placed for I Am Myself. Team 2 gonna be applying a little bit of pressure to Team 1 here. Like most EMPs is not a meaningful part of the build. It's just to be annoying and to slow down their opponents because they can and for no other reason. Here comes the EMP, flies. It hits a mine. Right, Flynn Shadow technically doing some work, but I expect that EMP. Flynn Shadow is more than prepared to defend against such things. Won't be doing much damage. On the other hand, Duck called R taking massive setbacks here. Losing access to their technology, their tier 1 tech, as well as they're getting directly hit on their core, shutting that down too. That's gonna shut down their energy production. Note that a Duck called R was attempting to place their heavy weapons tech when this activity occurred. The sniper anti-air. Flynn Shadow saving his teammate from getting shut down again. So for perspective here, a Duck called R was attempting to place their heavy weapons tech when that EMP landed. So that just delayed them a good 30 seconds. Like that one EMP just delayed it. And now look at this. He gets to sell it off for full price. Meaning that I Am Myself here delayed Team 1 by 30 seconds for no penalty. No cost. Zero investment. It's beautiful. This is why we see the EMP. It's just low risk, high reward. Well, not very high reward, but low risk, medium reward.
Yeah, non-negligible reward.
Yes. A 30-second delay is pretty good. Even if it didn't do much in the way of economic damage. Just delaying that tech placement can be great for timing. Especially given that Team Skill Gap is playing as Pinch Fist and are thus relying on timing as their primary benefit. The whole thing about Pinch Fist is they don't deal more damage, they don't survive better, they don't get more economy. At least not meaningfully. Their whole thing is that they just hit faster. They hit before their opponents are ready, is what it is. And just getting that first shot can be the difference between victory and defeat. Especially if the opponents have done a rush, like a heavy weapons rush, and have sacrificed armor and defenses to actually get their weapons out at a comparable, competitive timing. It could just be game ending, just like immediately. So delaying the opponents by an additional 30 seconds, that's huge. That gives you like an entire extra attack, an entire extra volley on their opponents before the opponents can even attempt to reply. That's going to be a big deal here coming up on Canada Clock. Speaking of which, it's 4:40 on the clock. The fire beam's ready to go, and the plasma beam's about, I don't know, another 6 seconds out. So come 5 o'clock on the dot, we're going to see fire beam plasma beam combo coming out from Team 1, or Team 2, sorry. I Am Myself energied up and ready to go. And there it is. Look at it. The defenses were still under construction. Had that actually landed and focused those beams, we would have seen potentially a dead duck here. Extra cooked fowl. On the other hand,
I'm terrified of Flynn's defense.
Yeah, lasers are never getting through that. You can't. I was gonna point that out, as Flynn has just gone full defense. Like, nah, we're not winning this rush. We're just gonna eat the first 7 volleys and then not care, because I am made of thickness. So Flynn is just become this monstrosity. Kind of impressive, actually. I see. Yeah, this map he can connect up here. It's like, how is he holding that up? He's got a node up here on top. There's a duck called R trying to defend. Firebeam Plasma Beam combo punches through once again, takes out the energy production, but that'll slow down Duck even further. Just won't be doing catastrophic damage over there. A duck called are also quite thick on the defenses. That howitzer though, that's real damage. Yeah.
Surprise howitzer.
Surprise howitzer, very effective. I think they don't know that they... Oh, they know now. Which means this is likely to be a target of the fire beam. Assuming they're on comms calling at each other. Here's the thing. Team 1 is not... Yeah, that fire beam is aiming for it now. I think he gets it. He does.
Yeah.
There it is. So I think this is going to put Team 2 in a difficult predicament here. Because Team 2 is going for this burst damage, you know, try to win the game in the first 8 minutes kind of deal. They're not playing for the long game. Team 1, on the other hand, is absolutely playing for the longest of the games. And they're kind of impervious to damage, save for skill gap single howitzer. Those lasers, I'm sorry, the lasers they're just never going to penetrate this. Like, the only way they penetrate it is after a howitzer and a cannon hits the same spot. Like, have the focus fire all in the same spot. And that's just kind of a big ask. Especially given the thickness of all players' defenses here. Like, the fire beam, that's not going to do it. It missed. It hit the same spot as the howitzer did. So that just reeks of what you really want to be swapping out of lasers at this point. Like, sure, the fire beams are useful. Cause damage while you can. But your Team 2 is going to need raw damage output to punch through this. The weapon sniping, like, it's fine. But, I mean, come on. You took a little piece of... This is like an insignificant amount of Flint Shadow's base up there. You need more damage than that. You need a lot more damage than that. And they even got door sniped in the process. So, I myself probably needs to change strategies here entirely. It's just... Flint Shadow and Duck are pretty much hard countering the laser rush play. Clow, on the other hand, the howitzer is the solution to this kind of problem. I'm going to say this is a very weird placement for this cannon, but it's a very powerful placement for this cannon. As the laser snipes out its friend, causing lovely secondary explosions all around. That howitzer's not going to do much. Sniper on sniper violence. Howitzer lands. Yep. Duck called R is more vulnerable than Flint Shadow. Team 2 knows this, and they're taking advantage of this by pummeling him where they can. It's just... It's not lethal damage.
Oh.
How?
Did he snipe the core?
It was a ricochet off the door.
The door. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Lucky.
Yeah. That's something Flint Shadow doesn't have to worry about. Like, that's just not going to happen again. If Clow had lasers, Flint Shadow may have to be concerned, but cannons don't have that kind of trajectory. Buzzsaws, though. Buzzsaws could do it. Flint Shadow, I think, just took off a little off of his own core with that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the sniper.
He haven't hit it already.
He's trying. Oh.
Alright, well, Flint Shadow now knows that he's vulnerable in that location. The benefit of the cannon in that location was that it was pretty much impervious to damage, by virtue of the opponents never having an angle on it. No longer the case. We see a plasma follow-up, potentially? No. I think Guy myself doesn't know what to do here. He's gotten an upgrade center and is upgrading his energy production, among other things, but looks like he's developing a shotgun and focusing more on anti-air. We're doing some more map control here to try to get that howitzer in, as well as he's developing some additional fire beams. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to help Clow get those howitzers across, because Clow's going into a second howitzer. With 2 howitzers active, if they can get them across reliably, then poor Duck here is going to get more cooked than a goose. Yep,
Oh,
there it
yeah.
is.
Nice.
Player eliminated. Duck falls to Wild Flaming Kinetics. That is well done. I was mentioning earlier that Team 2 is going to need more damage output. They found it. The answer was more kinetics. Looks like Flynn Shadow's switching off the howitzer here. Not surprised to see this, given the chances he actually makes that shot, but the howitzer is very, very low. Team 2 just dominates the map control at this point, so getting anything across the field that isn't a cannon shell, very unlikely. On the other hand, Team 2 is gearing up to change targets. Clow has no weapons that can hit Flynn Shadow, so that's kind of awkward, as Cloud now has to change all of their weapons and placements of everything. Cloud's struggling a little bit for base stability. Looks like he's got some stability tech in there, so he's not in immediate threat of collapse, but he's also not super happy with the situation. Limited on how much he can expand. I am myself just applying Fire Beam everywhere just to keep Flynn Shadow honest here. Flynn Shadow has never had a dishonest day in their life if this base has anything to show for it. So not expecting any damage out of those Fire Beams. Kind of surprised to see Flynn Shadow's not sending cannon shells toward Clow here. Not that the cannon shells would do much, but you'd at least do something, right? Like he's got something there. He's got nothing else to do with that energy. Second cannon comes out from Flynn Shadow. We should see Cloud take some cannon hits now. Those rockets start flying. The rockets are a beautiful choice for myself, by the way, because that's gonna force Flynn Shadow to have map control or lose the game. And Flynn Shadow is quite content this so far to not even attempt map control. Instead, just become thickened. So we'll see a single machine gunner, 2 machine gunners come out from Flynn Shadow. Buzzsaw's impacting the core directly. Flynn Shadow down to 59%. And dropping cannons. Flynn Shadow very much so on fire. Finally replying with his own cannon. But it is a little too late. Those buzzsaws have been free reign for some time. Flynn Shadow's core very exposed. Exposed multiple sides, multiple angles. Looks like he's looks like he's doing a concede here.
Yeah.
No, he's doing a crosswing.
Flynn Shadow flinging himself to safety only to get just cut short. Wonderful, wonderful round 1. Skill gap, Clow, and I am myself taking round 1 in this best of 3. And I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say it was one-sided, but not domination, but not like dominant. It was a little concerning for Team 2 there for quite a while.
Is Skill Gap, are they kind of newcomers to the league?
I believe they were.
Yes, somewhat.
I think they were amateur league last time.
I would have to
I don't
check
remember actually. I know I've seen I myself around Clow. I don't recall aside from previous times when I've cast him here in the Forts Pro League. I think the team is new, the players less so.
Yeah, well, they're doing quite well.
Yes. Yes, they are.
They're better than what I would have expected when I seeded the team, yes.
Yes.
That's good to see. It's always good to have surprises when it comes to teams like this.
Yes.
All right, next one will be Stalactites 2v2. Round 2 of this best of 3.
Good to go.
Count us down.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off to round 2 here in this best of 3. The sides have been swapped, the commanders adjusted, so here we have on the left-hand side is Team Skill Gap, running with the Armadillo Commander. Armadillo Commander, known for its extra thick defenses for good reason. We typically see some more economic and late-game play out of them. Skill Gap went 1-0, claiming victory in this best of 3 over their opponents. At least in round 1. Their opponents, Fesh, Finest Hour, Flynn Shadow, and Duck, are playing as the Warthog Commander. Warthog Commander, one of the more popular commanders here in the Forts Pro League. We'd expect to see some rather rapidly applied heavy weapons out of them, typically of the kinetic variety, especially on this map. For this map, we typically see kinetics, specifically howitzers, come up from the top bases. Bottom bases tend to a little bit more variety. We could see lasers or cannons out of them. I've seen rockets on this map a fair few times as well. Just rocket rushes.
Yeah, with phantom rushes.
Yes, Phantom especially. Dude, Phantom is so cheesy. I love it.
Oh yes. It's a bit less cheesy in the FPL because you can see your opponent's commander's choices. But yes, it's still quite fun to see it happen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even seeing the commander choices, I mean, are they going to choose it this time? I don't know. We've seen a fair few builds where it just... they do such a beautiful job of masking it, pretending to be something else. It's like, oh hey, this is a swarm missile rush or like a technology rush. Nope, it's rockets!
Yeah, and I think that's also why Phantom is getting banned more often than not.
It's just stressful, man. I don't want to have to think about that. Am I gonna die now? I don't know. So
Rockets
hard
that
to
are
scout.
hiding in the walls.
They really are. The lone EMP coming out from I and myself, slapping Duck once again. Duck not ready for this. Losing his tech and his core in the process. Flynn Shadow also not ready, also losing his tech and his core. Just set both players down about 15 seconds. Yeah. 10-15 seconds. Just a little bit of
And
eco
counting.
loss. Yes, and counting. As once again EMP lands. Takes out a couple of mines, which is annoying, but not a big deal. Unsurprising for the Armadillo team, we do see an upgrade center, and with the upgrade center comes upgraded mines. The Armadillo teams, with their ability to defend more cost efficiently, often go for an economic play, so they can outscale their opponents later in the game. And they're happy to take those first few volleys without contesting them, just because they can, for no real other reason. Double howitzer is the play for Team 2. Both of which have been placed, by the way, and again, still getting EMP'd. The lack of proper sniping from Team 2 is allowing that EMP to run rampant, but Team 2 now has 2 snipers out, both of which immediately target that EMP with a vengeance, which I kind of expect to be sold off here any second, because he doesn't want to have to... It's risky at this point, unless you win your sniper duel right now. Open that EMP door again is just asking to get punished.
I mean, they do have fast doors with Armadillo.
They do, yes. And he's got the wooden strut to help defend as well, to cover the bottom half of the door so it closes that much faster. It's worth noting that Team 1 has split their technology. The lower base is gone with lasers, the upper base is gone with cannons. Specifically, it's going to be howitzers. Obviously, taking a step to the side to do the economic investment means that Team 1's howitzer is going to be substantially delayed. That's an unfortunate battery. battery? No, it's a metal store. No. He needs a metal store and a battery. He's got to get both. Okay, well. I say it looked like a battery, but he needs a metal store, and then I realized he needs a battery and a metal store, so it's probably a battery. It's unfortunate. He needs it because he needs both. Alright, so Clow now has enough metal, now needs another battery in order to get the cannon, or the howitzer placed. But all this time he spent working on his own internals has meant that Team Fesh Finest Hour is going to have 2 howitzers completed before he even gets his Team 1's placed. Fortunately for Team 1, they have a shotgun, about to have 2 shotguns ready to go, so they can defend against such aggressive measures.
Oh.
Yep.
He gets it.
Wow.
You know, this happens to me all the time, where if I do my howitzer, not my howitzer, my plasma shot, and it's just not enough. Like, it fully breaks through, it exposes the weapon, but doesn't kill it, and I just don't have a sniper to follow up. But this time I myself does have that sniper, and follows it up, and gets the kill confirm. First howitzer flies from Flynn's Shadow. Clow survives, unsurprisingly, but did take, I think, more damage than they expected, than they were prepared to take. That shotgun not quite in position to defend against it. Once again, the shotgun not in position to defend against the howitzer. Survives again by virtue of being thick, but doesn't quite make it. So Flynn's Shadow doing good damage here, but Clow is not in significant danger of being defeated by this. It will eventually pile up that damage to a point where Clow will be substantially endangered. We're not quite there just yet. Look at that. It's just hitting on the ablative armor here. Nothing valuable was lost, but it is annoying. And sooner or later, Clow is going to get enough money to place their own howitzer. In the meantime, I am myself just going to be a little gremlin, sending lasers to anywhere where Team 2 doesn't want them. Duck preparing to fire their howitzer once again. Enough anti out of Team 1 shuts that down. One of these days that shotgun will be useful. Today is not that. Oh my god, it's getting sniped. Never mind, I was wrong. It will never be useful. Flynn's Shadow just solving Cloud's shotgun problem for him. Oh! I myself just discovered a weakness on Duck. And I think doesn't want to shoot at it anymore just to not reveal to Duck that a weakness has been discovered. Ooh, solid hit. Clow's starting to feel the attrition here. Clow's still unable to get enough money to build their own howitzer, which, you know, that hurts. It hurts a lot. Question is, I myself is struggling for energy production. That's what's going on here. Kinda surprised to see I myself going for the kill.
Yeah, I would have expected to go for mines on Duck.
Yeah, like, he was testing with the sniper, found that Duck didn't have a shield there. A single laser beam could wipe out Duck's eco just indefinitely. Tries to go for the kill in Flynn's Shadow, doesn't quite get it, although it did get concerningly close. That will cause Flynn's Shadow to react accordingly. Just to make sure he survives that. Like, you've gotta know. Like, I think Duck is recognizing, oh no, I was vulnerable there. I need to not do that. He's still, the fire beam plasma beam combo can still absolutely break through that. By the way, like, that's not sufficiently defended.
Especially
and he puts a sniper. Never mind. He puts a sniper back there. Never mind. He's not defending it. He's just he's running a risk. He's like, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I need a sniper.
Oh, maybe.
Is it?
No. That's not...
This man's... Why are you like this?
Just give me those lasers.
He
I'll
probably...
do it for you.
He probably doesn't... He probably just doesn't... It just isn't thinking about it. Or just doesn't recognize it. Maybe he thinks it's energy shield.
Don't realize.
Obviously, we as spectators can see this is undefended, but he just doesn't see that.
Oh my...
Oh! Oh!
Oh, this is so bad.
Oh! So many bad things just happened to Clow right now. He's selling the howitzer. No! No, don't do that!
Wow.
No! That was your only hope. I guess not your only hope, but it's a big hope. Okay, well that's a whole heap load of unfortunate for Team 1. All happened at one time. Aside from Clow's core getting almost completely destroyed by friendly fire. Their mines got penned by the cannons and nearly lost everything. So, Team 1's in a rough position. They even had the howitzer under construction and sold it off in exchange for a little extra money so they could try to survive longer. They're just hoping that his lower base, the laser player, can make the comeback here, make the difference. I just don't think that's going to happen. I mean, it might. It's not impossible. It cuts deep, but you don't have the energy.
There
He does
go.
have the energy. Good God.
That was a good shot.
Fire beam double plasma perfectly lined up. Eliminates Duck called R. That leaves Flynn Shadow all alone in this cruel world. Against a player who's got nothing to lose. And a player with very angry laser weaponry. Good
Even
lord.
having watched this replay at least twice, I still get surprised.
Seriously. Oof. Those lasers. They're cutting deep. But Flynn Shadow is very thick. Flynn Shadow likes to be a thick boy. Makes lasers not exceptionally useful against him, but he's only got 5 mines, not upgraded, so any damage is good damage. Especially if he can hit infrastructure and internals. Anything metal, really. Anything with a high repair cost. Additionally, the angle on those lasers is a little rough because it gets underneath. You see it slipping past the frontal defenses and wiping out turbines in the rear. That's going to cause some problems for Flynn Shadow. Flynn going to have to defend with a little bit more veracity. A little bit more integrity. It's going to mean more expenditure as well. Kind of surprised to see no energy shields out of Flynn Shadow given the circumstances, but those are expensive, and Jesus, the sniper. The sniper counter-snipes, takes out a 20 mil. Clow still getting bullied. Actually, Clow managing to find the money to place down a cannon themselves. So they'll get to participate in their own vengeance. Oh, that did damage to the munitions plant. That means a thick repair bill, which he's avoiding by not repairing it. Wow. So Flynn Shadow getting a little risky, placing weapons inside the defenses, or rather replacing defenses with weapons. Just trying to keep their opponents at bay with this. But that's going to be potentially costly because weapons are not defenses and they explode. They're like negative defenses. Not only do they remove defenses, they also explode when they take damage, which is like the worst case scenario. He's got multiple weapons sitting between his core and the incoming firepower, so that's a little rough. It is what it is. He needs some damage output here, or he's going to be in trouble. As Flynn Shadow once again is taking laser hit after laser hit, losing energy production, which is not the kind of thing you want to be losing. I am myself developing rockets, which we've seen it before is an amazing choice when you have this kind of map control because they just have wild DPS and they can absolutely shut down Flynn Shadow entirely. This man's just aiming straight for the kill from below. It's not quite confirming it. It's just off by slightly. And Flint Shadow just sitting there like, please miss. And he's got nothing to do about it. The 20 mils doing what they can. They're splashing against Cloud, but the reality is Cloud's playing as Armadillo with 5 upgraded mines. Like, those 20 mils are not doing enough damage. He's sitting there just counter-sniping and taking out those 20 mils and building multiple cannons behind this. So Cloud's not in real danger. He's just dealing with a lot of deformation as he's starting to reply with his own cannons. Yep, there it is. The laser finally touches the core, and down it goes. Team Skill Gap wins round 2 in this best of 3, and with it, the best of 3 itself. Very, very well played.
Well done.
Well, that was gorgeous. Didn't go quite as I expected. A lot of unanticipated volleys here. But all in all, very satisfying. Want to see this laser shot. Duck getting cleaned off of their foundations.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord. I just love watching the lasers dig through.
Mm-hmm.
I think really what did it was the batteries. The secondary explosions. We'll see here in a moment. Yeah. Yeah. The laser hitting from below took out all the explosive components and sealed the deal. Duck roasting by his own fire. Yeah, it looks like that plasma actually swept up from below. Rather, the impact, the shockwave flying up through the base, pushing the core into the plasma beam. It's so very effective. I'm surprised at how effective the lasers were that time. It did great damage with it. Great work.
That was cool.
Yes, it was. And now, we're off to HOTS versus SG.
Skill gap again.
Yes, more skill gap.
More skill gap. So the round 1 will be Caverns, Mothership. Question from chat. What level did your holdover jump to when the patch hit? 107. So we are a little bit up there. Yes. Very, very well played all around. Alright, go ahead and count us down when you're ready.
Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's do it. Alright, and we're off to round 1 in this best of 3. So here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Hot Butter, playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. They'll be doing a little bit of base selling, fort skeletalizing, base rushy, weapons rush stuff. In this mirror match against their opponents, Team Skill Gap. You'll love to see it. Clow and I myself also playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. And losing the sniper duel off beginning. Gonna have to invest in some defenses. I say invest as if it's more than 300 energy, which is practically free at this point. As long as that, turbine doesn't go away. I am curious to see how the teams divulge their divulge isn't the right word. Divert how they fork off in their strategies, because usually we see mirror matches that tend to be very similar up until a point when they're suddenly not. Let's see. Do you see an earlier EMP out of Team 1? Interestingly enough, Team 1 is behind Team 2 in the progress. Team 2 has had their heavy weapons tech placed for some time, whereas at least one player for Team 1 is not. This is something I've noticed with Halrassi's team in particular. Halrassi is a hard carry.
Oh yes.
Not only is Halrassi very good at the video game, but he tends to find himself in situations where his teammate is not in the same league of capabilities as he is.
Shots fired.
I mean, he's had like 4 different teammates now that rotate through every time he comes into a league or tournament, and it's the same story every time. And like, I mean, no offense to the players, of course. It takes time to learn, and he's obviously bringing in players. It's just he gets a little salty sometimes, and I don't blame him because he ends up in these 1v2 situations frequently. And the only reason I point that out is because his teammate here has gone for a pinch fist style heavy weapons rush, and has placed his heavy weapons tech at about 2 minutes 40 on the clock, compared to his opponents, which have literally already completed their heavy weapons tech, as well as Halrassi, who's almost got it completed. So we can see just the statistical difference, the empirical evidence in the capabilities of the players here. And this is a situation that we see Halrassi put in. It's almost every single time at this point. I hardly remember a time when he's been paired with someone of similar caliber to himself. And what it does is it turns Halrassi into one of my favorite players. Because Halrassi is such a hard carry. Like, he's so MVP status that he actually either wins it still or comes close. And it's impressive. And it makes it very, very fun to watch.
Maybe he likes being a mentor.
Maybe.
So what would be your prediction for this one?
I don't know, man. You can't ask me these questions. I mean, you can, but I'm not going to be able to answer this one. Usually I have a prediction. This one's a wild card. In terms of current game state, Team 2 is definitely in the lead. Economically, well, they had their mines first. Their bases are better defended. They've got more weapons on the field. They're just ahead in pretty much all metrics. Not by much, but still. And I would say Team 2 is currently leading. It's just I've seen this matchup before. It doesn't stay that way for long usually.
What?
I don't know. Like it's cannons and fire beam. It's cannons and energy out of Team Skill Gap, and it's just lasers across the board. Lasers across the board for Team 1 here, Hot Butter. As we did see, Team 2 got the first volley off, did some notable damage, wiping out Team 1's energy production. Not a surprise, given they were ahead in the weapons placement and production. Halrasi does have a plasma. Looks like he's skipping out on a... Okay. Oh, ho, ho.
Yeah, that's...
Okay, so... two things happened there. One, Halrasi fired his plasma, and half of a sec, like a fraction of a second before I and myself's energy shield came online, managed to take out two of their mines before the energy shield came online and defended against it. Similarly, Halrasi paid for that by getting door sniped. While the plasma was still firing, it got door sniped and did some damage to Halrasi's core. Which is the worst loss about that is a loss of the plasma. Because the loss of plasma means, well, no more damage output from Halrasi. There's no significant damage output. I want to say, Halrasi preemptively getting a shotgun just in case Team 2 brings a howitzer from below. Which they are doing. So that will become relevant. We see saving his... Well,
Nope.
he unsaved it a little too quickly, as Team 2 is just kind of trouncing over Team 1 here. Like, Team 1 is not out of it. They haven't taken critical damage yet, but it's coming apart at the edges. Team 2 has not attempted to go for the killer shots. They're just picking apart every little piece of Team 1, defeat in detail kind of stuff. Just meticulously deconstructing everything that Team 1's trying to do and giving them a nasty setback at all turns. But not quite going for the kill just yet. It's going to leave Team 1 with a little bit more time, a little bit more space before they get kicked out of the game, but they're running out of time here. They do have 2 plasmas. They managed to defend themselves against the howitzer. I do expect to see probably a few more energy shields out of Team 2, especially given the heavy reliance on energy weapons and like the reveal of energy weapons off of both players for Team 1. Yeah, he's using those plasmas to defend against the howitzer, which is a good call, especially if you can manage to door snipe the howitzer in the process. Some return fire, Halrasi burns, but doesn't really lose anything of critical importance. Just a little bit more damage off of his core. But HP is just a resource, and he's got 59% of it left. Oh!
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Here we go.
It's...
God, what?
Oh,
I don't even
no.
recall seeing that.
What? Alright. So, Clow falls to internal combustion. The plasma dealing just a little bit too much damage, burning everything from the inside. Halrasi, on the other hand, gets door sniped again, knocking his core down to 20%. That's going to leave I and myself alone and on fire. I and myself does have some pretty good energy shield placement, so he's not incredibly vulnerable. But he's also lacking damage output in general. That's going to put him in a rough position here. Halrasi immediately capitalizing on the... his teammates' fire support, using the sniper to penetrate through and break a plasma of its own. So things are looking up for Team 1 here. Team Hot Butter cutting through their opponents, almost like Hot Butter. Yep. The plasmas from below dealing great damage. Oof. You know, lasers, they could deal some damage if you get in the right spot. Fire beam. Ah, it's enough to do it. I myself loses the last of their heavy weaponry, and with it, it's going to put them on limited time before they just get bullied out of the game, because here Team 1 is going up to 3 plasmas right now. The only thing stopping them from getting to the core is the energy shield, but with multiple EMPs from Team 1, that energy shield is not long for this world. The only things keeping them in the game right now is the little bit of anti-air and sniping, which is not currently winning the sniper war, to put it nicely. As EMPs are successfully flying across the map, even if they're not hitting the energy shield right now. We know that Haurasi has been eyeing this, myself's mines. Huh. Yeah, it's not quite enough. Alright, and that's the last sniper down for I myself, and with it, I myself has no anti-air, no snipers, no things to keep him intact. There goes that energy shield. Haurasi likely to be aiming for that, for those mines almost immediately. Looks like his teammate aiming for the mines too. Oh, he's definitely aiming for those mines. Interesting that the energy shield didn't fall from that one. Took out the mine behind it, but not the energy shield itself. Oh boy. Alright, now the energy shield falls. That's confirmed. So we're going to see the laser follow up here. Plasma first. Do it. Nope. Oh, he doesn't quite land the shot. Almost gets it though. Just needs to be a fraction of a degree lower. Oh no, the EMP hitting the mines, but not the energy shield. Again. Alright, looks like they're converting to regular rockets, which, for the record, very effective at taking down energy shield as well. I'm not sure they're going to keep... Yeah, it looks like they're not going for the mines anymore. They're just going straight to the front. With the rockets, you might as well, because the rockets alone will be doing enough damage to break through things. The lasers, just a happy little way to punch through the last of it and rip out the internals. Look at that. Rockets chunking through. I am myself not repairing, focusing on just trying to get one more shot off. I spite at thee! He screams into the abyss as the abyss fires rockets back at him.
That's a nice way to put it.
And with that, Team Hot Butter wins round 1 with laser supremacy.
Was that a bit of Wrath of Khan there?
No idea what you're talking.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm showing my age.
I got it. I just haven't... It's been a while since I've seen that one. Let's see. So, what happened down here with Clow? Looks like he just got...
I think the answer is yes.
Well, yeah, that too. He got hit with the double plasma. Beautifully aimed, by the way. Goes through the second plasma. Goes all the way to the batteries. And fire here. Yeah. Secondary explosions just across the way. Wow. Survives the battery explosions. Even the secondary battery explosions. I guess it'd be tertiary explosions at that point. And just... it burns. Unable to put the fire out in time, he just burns and explodes. And of course, I am myself suffering a horrible fate. Everything is on fire. Kaboom. Very exciting. Alright, so round 1 goes to Hot Butter. We ready for round 2?
Yes, we are.
Excellent. Remember, guys, if you like this kind of content, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. Got more content like this coming out multiple times a week, every single week. We love to see it. Go ahead and count us down when you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off to round 2. The sides are swapped, the commanders too. So here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Skill Gap. Clow and I myself playing as the Armadillo commander. We expect to see some extra heavy defenses. Probably some extra economic investment along the way, and preference for play to late game. They'll be playing against their opponent's Team Hot Butter. Team Hot Butter on the right-hand side here plays the Overdrive commander. Kind of a general purpose commander, specializes in upgrades and extra economy. Not sure what kind of strategy they're going to be going with it. The Overdrive commander really isn't to tell on what strategy is going to be played. It could be later game developments with making use of the extra economic potential. Could be a early game rush, either rockets or any nukes, swarm missiles. Given the layouts of these bases, it is already not a swarm missile rush. It's probably just something like a regular heavy weapons play, with the potential for a later game switch into, or at least a mid-game switch into heavy economic investment. Or maybe they're just going to go straight into economic investment in the first place. That's an option. We'll see how that goes. Still a potential for early game rush out of Team Hot Butter here. Looks like building a sniper nest. Cloud preparing to map control. We do see one upgrade center out of Team 1. The EMP out of I myself, the classic, just throw at your enemy. Looks like we are going to see some early game rush. Alright. Team Hot Butter could be taking advantage of the overdrive ability to rapid upgrade to get out just a faster hitting timing on the, looks like, shotguns and rockets. Team 1 recognizes this. We see additional defenses being thrown out. That should be the obvious tell here, with multiple flak firing at the EMP. Likely to see this EMP sold off rather quickly, because it's not going to be much more than a liability. We see both players with Team 1 investing substantially into earlier game defenses. That's rockets and flak out of both players. So we see rockets and shotgun out of both players. This is gonna just turn, an AP sniper. That's going to potentially throw a bit of a wrench into the plans of Team 2 here, if he can keep that sniper active. He's missing the shots on the targets. He's hitting empty spaces. He's yet to hit any shots with that AP sniper, which is not ideal. And again, he doesn't know where the things are, so that's not a surprise, because the locations of the weapons specifically have not been revealed. But it's kind of hard to miss, given that it's the entirety of the front of either base. Nevertheless, it will give Team 2 time to actually get their weapons defended and fully constructed. We see the double doors coming online for the top player of Team 2 and the bottom player of Team 2. Shotguns chipping away at both bases. Let's see. Team Skill Gap manages to place two riskily placed fire beams. These are dangerous in their location, but they are placed, and that is the important part. For without rapidly placed weapons, Team 1 here on the left is going to suffer, because Team 2 is just gonna bully them out of the game. Rockets, very effective. Very, very effective. If Team 2 can manage to focus their fire, try to get these hits in on any target, then they'll be in a great position. A couple more sets of anti-air removed from Team 1 here on the left. A single machine gunner responds to the EMP, which means there's very little left for Team 1 to defend against this kind of pressure. If Team 2 here on the right, they can keep up the pressure, they should be able to start landing hits. Specifically against Clow, because the anti-air is positioned such that it defends the second player, the lower player for Team 1, but not so much the top player. The top player's got limited defenses. So if both players from Team 2 can focus fire the top player, or at least recognize their weak point, they should be able to do something about that. If we start to see a couple hits land across the top player in blue. More importantly, the fire beams come out for Team 1, and those penetrate the double doors, actually managing to break weapons on Team 2. This is how things start to fall into Team 1's favor. The heavier weapons, such as the fire beams, are able to pen the defenses, the rather minimal defenses of Team 2, and actually do some real damage. Like some very, very real damage. At least by sniping out weapons. Looks like the right side, their weapons rush, their rocket rush, has just about officially failed. They are tech swapping into heavier weapons tech. We're seeing some weapon positions being built out of the topmost player. We see some cannons placed, likely sell off a couple of these rockets to get those cannons out quicker. Look at that. The fire beam just penetrating, causing detonations on both sides. Internal and external. We see all weapons either destroyed or sold off for Halrasi, the lower fort on Team 2, whereas the upper fort is working on their own defenses here as they tech swap into cannons. First cannon has been placed. We should see these being sold off. Place it. Oh no. Those are 20 mils. Okay. Well, we tried. 20 mil is honestly not the worst thing in this context. They do good splash damage. They can work reasonably well as anti-air clears, anti-air suppression. These are relatively close bases, so they'll be somewhat tight spread, so you could reliably hit the target you want to hit. It's just, you're gonna need to do a lot of damage. The existence of these 20 mils kind of implies that you're not teching out, you're not swapping out those rockets, which means you still rely on that map control to deal damage. Which is fine, it's just, It's just gonna be mitigatable, as in Team 1's gonna be able to stop probably a majority of the damage just by appropriately timing their shots.
It's nice thing like Team 1 using the armadillo active to use the AP sniper more offensively.
Yes. Oh, and the door snipe from below. The laser weapons. I am myself fully bringing out the heavy weapons. Oh, yeah, there's that risky play. I am myself losing both of their their fire beams. I suspect won't be replaced because that's just a risk to the core. Here comes the howitzer. Team 1 doesn't take significant damage for that. They were prepared for it, but it is painful nonetheless. But yes, that is something I did want to point out earlier. During the commander active, Armadillo gets extra armor-piercing sniper bullets. Means they can pen the double door instead of having to, yeah, look at it. Clean through. It actually went through multiple struts of wood, too. Clean through.
Shield.
Yes. Very, very well placed shield. We've seen this shield position a few times. It's a good shield position. It's
I think even the AIs do it.
I mean, it's a good shield position. Double howitzer out of Team 1. Team 2 survives by virtue of knocking one of them out of the air. We've seen it several times before. If both of those howitzer shells land, that's just the end for Team 2. Even though it may not outright destroy the core, the amount of damage that it deals is far, far too much for Team 2 to sustain for any amount of time. As we see Team 1 going up to triple howitzer, which is a lot of howitzer. Once again, Team 2 defending against the howitzer shells, this time using the rockets to knock the howitzer out of the air. Weapons on weapons violence here. Uh-oh. Yep, alright. I am myself getting toasty. Should I say toasted. Harassi burning with vengeance. Oh no. First howitzer lands. Will there be a second one? Kalau is struggling to produce the energy necessary to upkeep these cannons. The empowered AP sniper not quite penning deep enough to deal the damage it wants to deal. Team 1 keeping up with the empowered AP sniper just to do a little bit more damage when they can. Just throwing it around, keeping Team 2 honest. Or at least, honest isn't the right word. I think at that point it's just making sure that they are fully defended everywhere. I think Cloud ready to try to double shot these howitzers. Solid hit. Follows up the AP sniper, checks, but nothing there. I'm gonna say almost preemptive 20 mil. Knocking howitzer out of the air once again. Yep, clean through double doors and snipes out that flak. Very effective.
So nice to see.
It is. It's rare that we get to see that, but it is very good at what it does. I think that was about a friendly fire, taking out his teammates' 20 mil. Alright, yeah, the howitzers are landing now, as we see the damage is mounting. Team Hot Butter is getting melted. That's triple howitzer. It's triple howitzer, but the reality is Cloud doesn't have the ability to fire all three howitzers. He's just firing two of them, just alternating between two of them. Doesn't have the energy to do more than that. Good lord,
No, he does.
everything. Now he does, yeah. He's just barely getting it. And if you see, the difference is massive. Yeah, again, another shotgun blast from below. Takes out a second one of their own 20 mils. That's not good. That's not how you want your own shotgun blasts to go. But multiple lasers. Halrassi's just got a lot of lasers. And a lot of laser does that medium amount of damage. If he can land those door snipes, Team 2's not out of this just yet. It's just that the clock is ticking. By the clock, I mean the howitzer shells. They're trying. Team 2's desperately trying to knock those howitzer shells out of the air. Or Halrassi is trying to deal actual damage with his own weapons.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
There it is. Death via disconnection. The howitzer is just rocking the base so hard that it rips from its foundations. One player eliminated. Halrassi now stands alone. Against some pretty substantially overwhelming firepower, I might add. Yep, and the snipers are coming back to play. Halrassi's shotgun no longer has to punch through his teammate in order to clear out those howitzers, so that's, you know, nice. But I suspect it's also not long for this world. As the AP sniper has found it. The sniping from Team 1 has been very effective. Keep it Team 2 kind of pushed away. Oh dear. I think this is going to be the end here. Oh, he takes out one of them. And two of them. Alright, no, he survives another volley. Third one lands, but no significant damage was dealt. Oh boy. I'm trying to figure out what Halrassi's plan here for progress should actually be. Because, I mean, he's trying to survive. And lasers are pretty good at counter-sniping, but the angle that those howitzers are coming in from, a little bit rough to handle with lasers. And this whole time, I am myself here on the other side, just expanding and growing. He's getting rockets of his own, which is going to make Halrassi's life difficult. The plasmas not helping. And yeah, well, there it is. There goes the last heavy weapon for Halrassi. Oh, but the buzzsaws almost completely disconnects my Team 1's laser lines. The buzzsaws from Halrassi doing good work. It's not solving the problem. The problem being triple howitzer.
It's a big problem.
Very big problem. Because as much as Halrassi's doing a great job of defending against it, that's not his defense is not a permanent solution. He needs to actually shoot back and stop the damage before anything gets through. And that's a little bit difficult in this context, specifically because Halrassi has no weapons. At least nothing outside of anti-air.
I can just hear Halrassi smashing all his keys at once right now.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be an APM spam, that's for sure. APM fest. He's still alive. Oh, well, that's bad. That's gonna leave Halrasi with no anti-air against these howitzers. That means the howitzers are about to start landing. We see the first one land, and the plasma immediately punched through the hole it left. The rockets are landing now. Well, they were landing before, but now they're gonna land consistently. Halrasi constructing internal bracing to help defend against these things. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. Howitzers coming through. Halrasi getting into some extra storages. I think he's trying to save up for another plasma. I don't know what the plan is here. Other than swapping all to wood. Yeah. Alright, so he's sold off much of his defense to afford a plasma, which was a good idea, but it does mean that his defense is a little thin. And it's about to get a lot thinner. Like, a lot thinner. The wood spam keeping him in the game. Relying on the overdrive bonus income and the maximum upgraded goodies. Maximum upgraded mines to fund this expenditure. Rapidly selling off pretty much the entirety of his base. All of his tech is going away. The storages are going away. Everything's going away just to fund these... Just to fund this extra temporary armor. And it's just not enough. Clean through to the core. I myself finishes him off with a plasma. Yeah. That was a good round. Back and forth. I am surprised Team 2 lived for so long with 3 howitzers pummeling them. That was a lot of howitzer pummeling.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Like, it just broke everything. Alright, what have we got here? This last laser burst on Halrasi. Just look at this damage. The worst part about it is that core was very, very close to being defended by that energy shield. Just a few pixels off. Alright. And the next one, it's Hot versus SG, Part 3. Are you ready for it?
Cool. Yes, sir.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
The end of the trilogy.
Yes. Because we're off to round 3 here in this best of 3. The score is 1-1. Here, Team Hot Butter on the left-hand side playing as the Overdrive Commander. Same commander as the last round. We'd expect to see some potentially extra economy out of them. Last round they went with the Rocket Rush on the Overdrive Commanders. It makes me wonder if they'll try the more economic play this time. So they're playing against their opponents. It is Team Skill Gap here on Team 2 on the right-hand side. I, myself, and Clow playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. Pinch Fist, well, we've seen it a lot because it's a good commander and it's kind of straightforward. Just gets weapons out quickly, just boosts through the early game quickly. No real other advantage. It's just an overall good tactic, good strategy. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen mortar play. Like, I know mortars make more of a showing in the 1v1s, but kind of surprised we haven't seen any so far.
I wonder if other groups that happens. I don't, you know what I mean? Maybe these teams are, as you know, playing each other in their particular group, and certain styles of play happen, and in other groups maybe it's different. I'm not quite sure.
Probably. We've seen a lot of that kind of thing. Still.
Yeah, I guess each team has their preferred play styles, so...
There's quite a few groups, 4 groups of 10 teams.
Oh yeah, 40 teams.
Yep. We're about just over halfway through the league as well, aren't we?
We are. We're coming up on the yeah, we're about the halfway mark now.
Yep.
Had so many good games.
You
guys can check out. Yes, you guys can check them out on the channel if you guys want to see those nicely edited casts with plenty of more games like this. You know, speak of the devil and they shall arise. I was going to say, this map is great for mortars, as we see how Rassi going with the mortar play. He's going up to 5 mortars here, which is about as many as you can afford. I mean, I guess you could fit 6 if you wanted to, but...
He's doing the portal strat. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, you start to hit some energy productivity issues beyond this point.
Okay, so yeah, speaking of this strat, there is one team, well, one player who is always doing this exact strat on almost all maps.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's working very well for them, actually.
Like, this is a very good strat. I've done this a few times just to test it. I should do like a standalone video. I'm afraid of doing a standalone video for it because every time I touch motors, they get nerfed. But they're so much fun and they're so good. It's definitely deserved. But I
mean, if you do a standalone video on that, and I can always add it to the tutorial playlist. That would be interesting.
Is it not already? Like, this is
not the mortars one.
Oh, look at
okay. Because yeah, this brings back horizontal mortars all over again, which are very very powerful, as we have seen here. So quick update: instead of doing rocket rush, it's mortar rush. And how Rassi does not have the energy production for this. Like, it's not close, by the way, but he can save up to burst fire this, and getting 5 mortars digging through the same spot, kind of destructive. Looks like he's refiring here. He's got 1 group hotkeyed and the other 2 just on refire, which are not properly aimed.
Yeah, and a sniper just desperate to get through that door.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to. Getting a sniper through that portal just almost guarantees good damage. But, oh lord, is it difficult to pull that shot off? Because it's got a door, it's got a small door. It's not open for long. Oh no! Oh no! Straight to the core. That's an angle I didn't see coming.
I didn't see that. No, that was great.
And yes, remember the portals are 2-way.
Yes, yes, they are 2 ways. Oh, Jesus, but that's
double-edged sword.
That's just more damage than a howitzer, man. It's just so devastating. And there go all the turbines, and with it, any hope of those mortars doing anything useful. So, I think how Rassi's not going to tech switch out of this because he's already got it and it's effective and Team 2 doesn't have the defense against it. But he can't fire that for the foreseeable future. And EMPs flying across. Yeah, okay. So, Team 2 here doing a great job of just rushing out their weapons, getting the fire beam out early. They shut down Rassi with it, and they needed to because if they didn't, I myself would have just been dead. But, man... Ah, man. I wanted to see the mortars.
Yeah.
Alright, so Halrassi's gonna need a second energy shield to defend this or something, because those turbines are not long for this world. Even defended with an energy shield, they're gonna get blasted there. The thing is, Halrassi here for the lower fort, Team 1. So unlimited lifespan, as you can imagine. The skill gap with the howitzer is going to be coming up momentarily. And Team 1 should know this. If not howitzer, then multiple cannons. And Halrassi's going to be prepared for that, or at least he should be preparing himself for that. I think he's taking the route of trying to blast I myself out of the game rather than defend. He's like, alright, I got 30 seconds to kick this player out of the game or things are going to get bad. So I'm going to try to do that. You see him re-aiming his mortars down to the howitzer. Yep, fire beam goes clean through. And Halrassi, rather than defending and repairing, is just trying to blast through. He almost gets the howitzer. Skill gap here, just panicking, trying to defend here. Is it enough?
Wow.
It's not enough.
Nice.
Halrassi gets it. The howitzer came online and had the ability to fire, but was damaged to the point where it could not quite get it off, and in the chaos of it all, Halrassi manages to take it out. Now, it looks like the deformation here is not too bad. If Halrassi shuts down that portal, he could probably reconstruct this. Looks like that's what he's doing. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's getting himself set up here again. That fire beam dealing great damage. It is possible to defend against this kind of thing, but he did not do so, and as such is vulnerable to it still. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, he had hopes and dreams. They're gone now. They went up in blue laser light. At least I had hopes and dreams. That's it. Team 2, they're just slowly and gradually building more and more weapons. Team 1's trying, but they've been door sniped far too many times. The laser player here for Team 1 in the upper base. I mean, they're okay. They're intact. It's just Team 1 has lost map control. Team 1 has lost laser control. Team 1 is getting fire beamed. It's not game-ending damage. It's just the same kind of situation as last time, where they were getting picked apart piece by piece. Question is, can Team 1 manage to deal critical damage before it becomes too late? As the heavy mortars are once again... Oh my god, the machine gunner took them all out. Laser on laser violence. Team 1 loses another fire beam. Team 2 on fire, but doesn't lose any weapons. The mortars are once again online for Team 1. And he's refiring on the lower weapons platform. Halrassi does not have his mortars defended from that fire beam, and he manually shuts down the portal, and actually fully sells off the portal. Where is he linking? Oh, he's linking it to a new location. Okay. I was wondering, like, what did you do? He's moving it to a lower position, so the NCR's got a little bit more trouble with it. Is that a good angle? That looks angled to hit the top base. It's because it is angled to hit the top base. Okay. Yeah, so he's trying to aim from below now to hit the weapons platforms up top. He's actually got a reasonable angle on the lower bases weapon platform as well as the upper bases weapon platform. Not sure which one he's aiming for, but he's hitting both. Generally don't want to spread your fire around like that, but both are doing pretty good damage. Looks like Halrassi's still missing a mortar, which is going to reduce his overall firepower, but he is intact still. A little bit of deformation causing problems here. Yeah, alright, so now he's just aiming for the lower base from, well, in an even lower position. Mortar's digging through. So he's selling off... Is he out of power? Halrassi placed something and ran out of power. Yeah, alright, so he placed a heavy weapons tech, and in doing so shut down all of his power. Gosh, the mortars are digging clean through so many things. I am myself here at Team 2 taking it, but he's not happy about it. Just taking a lot of damage. His mortars again changing their position, immediately exposing the howitzer. The fire beam from above has detected the location of the exit portal and decided to commit violence. Okay, well that's...
Oh.
What were we saying about that? Violence has been committed, Halrasi losing the portals and the mortars, and that's just not a good position to be in. Halrasi struggling to keep these mortars intact, or more accurately, Clow here from Team 2 just bullying Halrasi something fierce. This whole time, both laser players have been gearing up for mass destruction. We got some mutual destruction here. Door sniping on both sides. Both players losing some weaponry. Oh dear. Oh no. The energy. Halrasi just unable to keep his energy production alive as the howitzer finally comes online. After all these years, the howitzer finally fires, lands its first shot, and nearly takes out Halrasi in a single shot. As the lasers fly to and fro, still there's no significant damage. Halrasi burning. Losing some core health, but no major damage dealt from the rampant fire. Howitzer, on the other hand, is terrifying because that deals a lot of damage, costs a lot to repair, and leaves him vulnerable to follow-up attacks. As once again, the lasers are trying to dig to each other. I feel like the top two players have just been keeping each other in check and making absolutely zero progress with anything. They just build weapon, shoot weapon, lose weapon, and just has been a cycle of that for the past 12 minutes. Whereas the bottom players, drama is happening. Constantly. Oh, is that it?
Yep.
Oh. That's insane. So good.
And there it is. The howitzer finally lands its shot. The second shot it's ever fired after trying to be alive for 8 minutes. It finally exists long enough to fire around, and in doing so, removes one player. Team Hot Butter goes down a player, and with it, I suspect we're going to see that howitzer almost to the core. It cuts so deep. There's so many lasers. It's more lasers than a rave. As the howitzer is about to change its target. No. The anti-air comes in. Keeps Hot Butter in the game for now, but how much longer? God, those plasmas. Oh! A beautiful penetration round. Taking out a weapon and multiple turbines in the process. God, 3 plasmas. 4 plasmas. There are 4 plasmas on this base here on the left-hand side. There are 3 plasmas. 3 plasmas here at this base on the left-hand side. That number has just constantly been changing. It's in a constant state of change. As another fire beam falls for Team 2. Kalau's base is looking like Swiss cheese with the amount of holes that have been placed in it, but it's surprisingly intact. It looks like that because the man is just not repairing. Why? Because it keeps getting punched. But it is fully intact and operational with 2 plasmas and 3 fire beams. As we have Team 1 losing yet another plasma. Getting knocked down to 1.5 plasmas. Which is not many. More turbines slain. Some beautifully placed rear wind turbines here for Team 1, by the way. Shout out to Zvez. The howitzer lands, dealing massive damage. More accurately, dealing a massive repair bill worth of damage, as Team 1 has officially lost another plasma, knocking them down to a whopping 1 plasma, which is still not many plasmas. Plasma got door sniped, but didn't pay with its life. Alright. It looks like it has this time played with its life. Alright, so Team 1 down to half of a plasma. It's under construction. Is the howitzer. Pens and...
Oh.
Alright, he's letting it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Skill Gap wins this best of 3. 2-0 in what is 2-1, which has been a beautiful back and forth. This is why I didn't want to. This is why I did not make predictions at the beginning, because this match was going to be madness, just in its entirety. Everything about it was just madness, all of it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was very awesome. As we see a hot butter Halrasi go down to that howitzer hit. Oh. So very effective. Yeah. We knew that. Everyone involved knew that howitzer was going to be the death of Team 1. They tried very hard to keep it down, and just at the end didn't quite make it. And at the end, gravity is strong. God, it's so crunchy. I am impressed that Zvez base managed to survive the collapse as nicely as it did. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the joy of the Forts Pro League. Good lord,
Absolutely.
That's a good time. Whew. You'll love to see it. Alright, I do want to say shout out to Nose here, who has joined us for this, one of the developers at the Forts Development Studio.
Thank you, sir. It's been awesome being here and seeing some nice high-quality matches from the FPL. Thank you, 42, for organizing that for us. That was a great selection of matches. And yeah, congrats to the teams that won. And looking forward to joining you on the next live stream where we do this some more.
Yes, we've got more live streams like this, more content in general, videos and otherwise coming out every single week. It's a good time all around, and we have plenty more where this has come from. So let me know, chat, if you guys like this kind of stuff, to check it out. And use that like button, use that subscribe button, and comments down your favorite. I am wondering, which is your favorite match out here so far? Because it's a good one. It's a good one all. But for now, I think we're going to be winding it down. It's been a nice, good stream, nice, good content. And once again, I want to say thank you, shout out to 42 Scientists who put together these matches and also combed through them all and showed us the best ones of the lot. Alrighty then. Do we have anything else we want to say before moving on? Any other announcements to make?
Nothing off the top of my head, but yeah, just thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.
My pleasure then. In that case, I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Alright, chat. What I'm going to do is another stream tonight? Yes, actually. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap on over to some Helldivers, because Helldivers is a good game. And also, they just released some new automaton enemies. So they must be purged. So if you guys want to stick around for some good old-fashioned chill and Exterminatus, then now is the time to do so. Definitely hopeful there's another stream. There is. And you guys won't have to go anywhere, because the joy of streaming is you don't have to go anywhere at all. Very, very good time all around. Let's go ahead and throw out some music while we wait. Alrighty then. Just give me a moment to reconfigure things. Just to think, Helldivers, the devs keep throwing out new content every single time. AKA legally distinct Starship Troopers. Yeah, something like that, you know? Alright then, chat. I will see you guys. For those on YouTube, I will see you guys after the refresh button goes through. For those on Twitch, no refresh button needed. As we swap on over to this screen. Need to bring the Ford stuff with you, the Helldivers. You know, that would be cool, but we don't get to do a whole lot of base building stuff there. Unfortunately.